And we are back at Chambers Bay for round 3 of the Leadership in Golf Invitational in what should be a theatrical finish from one of the premier venues in all of golf out in the Pacific Northwest. Obviously, these are beautiful views of Chambers Bay, but there will be some treachery in the weather and the conditions that the players face today, trying to navigate all of these contours, all of the humps and bumps, all of the conditions that make Chambers Bay the special place that it is. As we're going to check in on the leaderboard in just a moment, Rihanna Mission of San Francisco, she's on top by 3 in terms of the player leaderboard. Only USC is in red figures at the moment as scores have gotten higher today because of those conditions pushing back against the players. This is a look at the 16th hole, Emma, that we're going to see today from these players with bunkers down the right side.
Yeah, Jeff, this 16th hole, I think, is going to be a real challenge just solely based on where that pin position is. It's one of the wider fairways off the tee, pitched real severely left to right, but it gets real narrow back in that back part of the green. You'll see a lot of players getting aggressive, maybe even a little bit too aggressive, as we take a look at hole number 17, the par 3. Beautiful view with the water and the train tracks on the right. This pin position is going to be in that back right tier today, which makes that right miss in those right bunkers really tough, as well as short or even down low on that lower tier on the left. So it'll be interesting to see what the players do out there today. And the 18th hole. The 18th hole playing a par 5. A few different tee shots played by these girls that we'll see today, but it's all going to be about the layup and avoiding that pot bunker right there in the middle of the fairway, right at about 140 yards out. And then from there on, this green can be like mini golf with all of the undulations and all kinds of different putts that you can have, both lag and short putts.
And that's a great setting us up. Emma, Jeff Eisenband, Emma Carpenter with you for the action today. Live coverage coming of the Leadership in Golf Invitational. You're watching GK Live. Emma, you just broke down a lot of the holes. Let's talk a little bit about what we're going to see in terms of the leaderboard. Rihanna Mission at the top from San Francisco. She's got a 3-shot advantage right now, but USC clinging to the team lead at 1 under. The only team in red figures. We saw a few teams in red figures yesterday.
That's right, Jeff. Especially in the second round, we saw a lot of shifting on the team side of the leaderboard. Southern California bounced back with that 7 under par round in round 2. Remember, these are 4 scores combined of the 5 that are playing. So the 4 scores are combined for the team score, and already out there, every single team over par, if not at even par. No teams under par. So I think that when it comes to day 3, these coaches are really going to be just drilling into their players that it's going to be about playing smart more so than playing aggressive on day 3.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see who can hold on today. Rihanna Mission had gotten it up to 11 under. She's back to 10 under, 5 under, 4 under, and 1 under so far today. She's through 7. Catherine Park, 3 back for USC. And then on the team side, Colorado and Oregon State, each trailing by 4 to USC. And we're probably going to see down the stretch today as we bring fans 15, 16, 17, and 18, also coverage of 9 and 10. But that 15, 16, 17, 18 stretch, Emma, we're probably going to see those 3 schools, USC, Colorado, Oregon State, playing together coming down the stretch.
I definitely think so, Jeff. And I think it's just going to make for a really, really exciting finish. That's something about those last 3 holes is that they are scoreable if you have your ball in the right spot. But if you make a mistake, it can be real costly.
Played in this event last year, University of Minnesota, Eastern Michigan has been repping the Midwest so far this week. Let's go live out to the Pacific Northwest, University Place, Washington, Chambers Bay, as we are going over, taking a look at the 15th hole. This whole location on the right side, a little bit more room today, Emma.
Yeah, I would definitely say that this is likely one of the easier pin positions. It's in that flat part of the green over there in that back right spot. On the left part of the
Thank you.
green, it's
That's what I was
pitched
gonna
really
ask for.
severely left to right, so it makes for just it being real slopey right around the green. But this pin position gives them a little bit more room in front of it to leave themselves an uphill putt. Obviously, long is absolutely no good, but there's a little bit more room right of it as well. So I predict this hole is going to be playing a little bit easier just solely based on that pin position.
And we are looking right now at the group of Erin Lee, Nicole Cato, and Amaya Melendez, Eastern Michigan, San Diego State, and Long Beach State. For context, as this group puts the flag stick back in, they started on 9. They're at 15. So we're about 7 holes through this shotgun start as we bring you live coverage of the third and final round of the Leadership and Golf Women's Invitational. Beautiful look here at Chambers Bay. A reminder of the Leadership and Golf Invitational. Leaders and mentors are not born that way. They are cultivated as we get some great conditions. When I say great conditions, Emma, maybe not the same that we're seeing in these flyovers, but in terms of great conditions for golf in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, I would say that any chance you get to compete out on Chambers Bay is going to be great conditions in terms of the quality of the golf course and the history and all of the great memories that place holds. But it's not quite playing as nice as it's looking on these flyovers. A little bit misty out there today, a little windy. So I think that's another part of the reason why the scores are a little bit higher already today.
All of the bunkering that you see, it's something that we've touched on a bit, Emma, but what makes those sand traps? There's not necessarily a U.S. sand belt region, but this comes pretty close. What makes those bunkers so different and unique at Chambers Bay?
Well, I think if you take a look, Jeff, you look at the long grass, it moves from waste area into sand into bunkers. I think that it's all just about the variety of lies that you can have in those bunkers. Sometimes you can get caught in that long grass right up against the lip. Very, very slopey. We've seen players having some real awkward stances in those bunkers. So it's really, really hard to prepare when you have no idea what kind of stance and lie and look you're going to have in those bunkers. And if it's going to be a little bit misty out there as well, wet sand makes for it to be an even more difficult lie.
And there's a look at a made putt on 17. This 17th hole location, cut on the right side. You see on that upper part of the slope, Emma.
Yeah, the tier is relatively large given there's a good amount of room short and a good amount of room long. But as soon as you miss left, especially if that ball is spinning left whatsoever, it's going to spin down onto that lower tier, which makes for a little bit more of a difficult lag putt. And of course, right is absolutely no good because then you have to worry about that slope past the flag as well. But if you can just get anywhere on that tier where the flag is, you're going to be in really good shape.
So that's on 17. As we're going to take you over. We're also adding today the 9th and 10th hole. If you were with us yesterday here on GK Live, we brought you 15, 16, 17, and 18. We're going to have some action from 9 and 10 as well.
9, the par 3 downhill, really, really fun hole. Plays so severely downhill, almost more than any other hole, especially with how short they will be playing it. And 10 is just one of the more difficult holes on the golf course, I would say, given the tee shot, how tight it can get up the further up the fairway.
Right now, when we take a look at the leaderboard, Rihanna Mission on the player leaderboard at 10 under. She's through 7 today. She is your leader by 3. Catherine Park of USC is 3 under today, among the best in the field, making her move. She's 3 back at 7 under. Maria Eidhagen Han Osh She is at 6 under, fighting back. She was the early leader yesterday. She's hanging in as well right now in sole possession of third at 6 under. Carlin Rossholt of Grand Canyon is at 5 under. Vivian Liu and Chewan Bake of Washington and Gonzaga are at 4 under, with Stephanie Barbiglia of San Diego State. And Savannah DeBach is among those at 3 under, tied with Jasmine Wong and Maddie Smith of Gonzaga and Washington. Savannah DeBach, she had gotten it to the top, spent a lot of time in the lead yesterday, took a 9 on the par 5 18th, so she has dropped back to 3 under at the moment, 2 over today. USC 1 under, they're your leader. Ahead on the team leaderboard of Colorado and Oregon State at 3 over. San Diego State is at 4 over, and Grand Canyon rounding out the top 5 at 7 over. As we're bringing you the action from Chambers Bay this afternoon, this morning local time in University Place, Washington. And this is a great look at what we'll be dealing with today, Emma, at Chambers Bay.
This the 9th tee that I was just mentioning, Jeff. We can't even see the green from this look here. Actually, the players need to take a walk towards the front of that box just to be able to see the green with how elevated, for how low it is, I should say, reverse elevated. It is so downhill this hole is playing, and it's short in distance. But with that being said, it's almost like it just drops you right off a cliff, and it's all about picking that right number.
Oregon State in this group, we're going to see coming down here, coming down the stretch, a lot of Oregon State. We're going to see Colorado and Gonzaga right now playing together. We're going to see some of those schools coming down the stretch together. Oregon State, Colorado, and USC coming down the stretch together as they make the turn here. Do we have any IDs here? Now we're going over to 18. That's part of the UC Davis, Eastern Michigan, San Francisco contingent. And again, fog on the tee. Players are going to have to deal with this today, Emma.
With fog, with mist, with wind, and with your routine difficult pin positions on day 3 of college golf events, I think that it'll be really interesting to see how some of these players start adjusting and maybe playing it a little bit differently than they did the past 2 days. Lots of the individuals who are still in red numbers, but it's kind of like on your day 3 when scores are getting so high, the person who does come out and shoot a low final round 100% earned it with how impressive it is to take a score that deep with how high the other scores are, how difficult the golf course is playing.
Rain gear out today. We did not have this yesterday afternoon, as we're watching some of the players from Washington, Cal Poly, and Long Beach State playing together. Emma, how did a change in attire affect you? Were you a type of player that needed short sleeves no matter the conditions, or were you all right bundling up as that just slides past the left side?
Well, to answer your question, Jeff, I think that above all else, it's really important to be comfortable. It's really important to be warm. So if that does mean having on some extra layers, that's a little bit more important than worrying too much about restriction. And that's why we wear layers and we don't wear too thick or too heavy of attire, because most importantly, you need to be able to swing, but even, I should say, more importantly than that, you need to be comfortable. You can't be cold. You can't be shivering out there. Also, if it is a little bit misty, it's important to keep your equipment dry, to keep yourself dry. You don't want any, great putt there. Eastern Michigan. And University of San Francisco will go ahead and tap that in as they will walk to the 16th.
And we go to 17, a good look at how players, if you play the same shot to the left, Emma, that's the ridge that you're going to deal with.
That's right, especially if you're a little bit long. If you're pin high on that left part, then it's kind of just a putt straight up the hill. But if you're long and if you're left, the next thing you know, you got the uphill, you got the severe slope from left to right, and it just makes it that much more difficult.
That's about what you would expect.
Looks like that golf ball did have a good line. She picked a nice line on it, but it's really hard to judge the pace straight up the hill, especially when it gets cold, it gets misty, the ground's a little bit wet.
Another look here on 17. We're bringing you all the action from the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational, holes 15 through 18. We've got some bonus coverage of 9 and 10 today. And that's the opposite of what we just saw.
And that's why a lot of times players see things differently in terms of whether or not to watch your playing partners while they hit their shot or make their putt, because then from there you have to make the decision of, am I going to make an adjustment based on what I just saw, or am I going to trust myself and my original read or my original thought?
That was good. This is a look at 15 from the green. So again, you talked about the elevation change on 9. Maybe not as severe on 15, but for these par 3s, you're judging so much in your calculations coming down the hill. In this case, at the water on 15.
Both 15 and 9, like we saw, playing pretty downhill, but especially that 9th hole just almost drops straight off a cliff. It's kind of interesting walk down that hill, as 15 is as well. As that's a pretty good leave there, pin high to the left.
Taking a look back at 17, right beside the water. The water going to perhaps play a factor in terms of these holes down the stretch, Emma, coming along the coastline.
Sorry, I missed that. Can you say that again? Or never mind. Never. I would agree, Jeff. And that looked like a really, really good effort there.
Rain gear out today. If you're just joining us, USC right now leading the team side by 4, and that's with a 4-over day in the works. Right now, the top 4 teams, USC, Colorado, Oregon State, and San Diego State, all over par today. Grand Canyon in 5th has made their move 1 under as a team after being collectively 7 over in the first 2 days. USC made a run with a 7 under second round to get into pole position. They lead by 4 ahead of Colorado and Oregon State. In terms of the player side, USC's Catherine Park at 7 under. She's in second right now, 3 back of Rihanna Mission of San Francisco, who's been controlling the pace so far. She is at 10 under with a 1 under round in the works.
I think, Jeff, when you look at this leaderboard, you look at these 3 teams that are on the top right now. Southern California has 2 returners. Colorado also has 2 returners. Oregon State, 3 returners. So with that being said, you don't have all of the experience playing this golf course that your team did last year. especially Southern California. Bailey Shoemaker and Catherine Park both were sophomore and freshman last year, respectively. So now moving into this year, they're the returners. They're a sophomore and a junior, and now all of a sudden they need to take on that leadership role and get out there because they're the only two players on the team who competed here last year, and they need to be able to lead the team in that way moving into the rest of the tournament.
Sorry, can you say that again, Peter? Let's take a look back at 9. Sorry, did you have an ID for this, Peter? Do we have any IDs here? Emma brought it up. Really, players trying to zero in on where the green, where the hole location actually is here. One more time, Peter. Is this? You said Avery and Knox are in this group?
That's right, Jeff, especially with where that pin position is over on that left side. If you leave it too far to the left, you won't have much room at all to get that ball close with how the green is pitched. So as much as it is about choosing a good number, it's important not to get too caught up in distance and zero in on
Peter,
your line as
did you
well.
say there's an ID here? This is third round action, looking down at the 9th hole at Chambers Bay. They call this hole Olympus. And let's go back to 15. Yesterday, that hole location a little bit tighter. This is Kennedy Knox of Washington playing with Andy Avery of Long Beach State and Siri Yu of Cal Poly.
Knox, as we saw, hit that solid shot in there just about pin high left. She will have that putt just sort of down the hill, has to watch the pace on it. Does sneak by just a little bit. Looks like it had a good line. She'll have just a tinge of work coming back.
Kennedy Knox, a senior
I'm back on. I'm back on.
Normandy Park, Washington.
I'm operating 15 green.
And for Long Beach State, Cal Poly, Andy Avery, Siri Yu in this group. And Yu just unable to play it out far enough.
Like now Knox will still be up to play before Avery. She's got about 6 feet coming back. That putt from up there on the left side can be quicker than it seems. And she does a really, really good job. That looked like a really solid stroke. I liked how quick her routine was. It looked like she was not really overthinking that one.
Some interesting stuff for the University of Washington. Maddie Smith is playing as an individual, and for Washington, representing not necessarily Washington in the team competition, but playing as an independent player, and she's 3 under tied for 7th place right now.
I always love those stories. It can be really, really difficult being a part of a college team where there are so many really solid players and you're constantly competing every single week to get a spot in the lineup. As Sarah Yu from Cal Poly just made, again, a really solid stroke there to save her par as well. And Avery from Long Beach will go ahead and tap in her par. But Jeff, absolutely, with players getting the chance to play in these tournaments as individuals, even if they did not qualify to play as a part of the team, it gives them an opportunity to still compete, to still keep their game sharp in case they get the opportunity to go play in the next event. And oftentimes we see it offers a sense of freedom, a sense of being able to play without worry because you're only playing for yourself and you don't have the team counting on you. It has just a different kind of feeling playing as an individual. And I feel like we oftentimes do see that a lot where individuals climb the leaderboard because it feels like just a different kind of pressure that's more so in your own hands.
Little change on the leaderboard right now. USC has dropped another shot. They're at even par. That's still the lead. 2 clear of Oregon State, holding firm at 2 over. Colorado back with San Diego State right now at 4 over. And Grand Canyon's still 1 under today, 6 over overall. That's rounding out the top 5.
It's really, really unbelievable to see how difficult that front 9 is playing today, Jeff, with these schools, Southern California, Oregon State, Colorado, San Diego State, who are all in the red numbers now, 3, 7, 2, 5 over par already, even with having not quite made the turn yet. And this is going to be a real lengthy putt up ahead on the 17th. That short left spot putting to that back right flag all the way up the tier towards the back of the green. That's going to be a hard one, as we're also looking at a chip that is short and right, which is not an easy spot to be.
And that chip had a little scoot on it, almost rolled back down the ridge. So this 17th green, with all of that undulation, providing a challenge today.
Jeff, this pin position was in the same position last year in the final round as well. I came up just short in that front bunker, and I'll tell you what, that spot was no good. It made for a really, really difficult up and down, and that's kind of exactly what we're talking about, how just being on that tier where the flag is a huge advantage as to any other spot on or around the green.
You're watching the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational from Chambers Bay. Jeff Osman and Emma Carpenter with you as we will crown a champion today. We'll crown a team champion. We'll crown a player champion. We're watching some players from San Francisco come through. Rihanna Mission is your leader on the player leaderboard right now. 10 under. She's got a 3-shot advantage. And definitely going to be interesting, like Emma said, if the front 9 is playing as difficult as we see it play. Mission actually started this final round on the 9th hole. So while a lot of those players from USC, Colorado, Oregon State started their day on the front 9, a player like Catherine Park has gone out 3 under on her first 6 holes starting on number 1. Rihanna Mission's going to turn it back over to the front 9.
And it's like I said, Jeff, if you can just have one player who's really playing well, Southern California at 5 over par, when schools like Long Beach, GCU, and San Diego State are even 1 under and 3 over par, that is with Catherine Park's 3 under par. Individually, the team is still 5 over par. So it definitely just goes to show how important it is if the team is struggling to have at least one player who's really helping the team hang on.
That's another good effort on 17, but you could just see how much time is being taken on that green. There is a lot of work to be done on this 17th green.
I find that to be really common on a lot of these par 3s, Jeff, is it's sort of like if you hit the ball in the right quadrant of the green on these greens at Chambers Bay, it makes it really simple. And if you're not on that quadrant, it makes it really, really difficult and makes for a long time. It feels like you're on that green for forever.
This is over at 15, Amber Lee of the University of Washington. Just finding a piece does Amber, the freshman from Bellevue. Playing alongside Jasmine Leoveo from Long Beach State and Nicole Kung from Cal Poly. Nicole Kung, a direct descendant of the Chinese philosopher Confucius, and she's a major in psychology at Cal Poly.
Awesome. We're getting this great look at Jasmine Leoveo on the 15th tee. She is 2 under par for the day, which is unbelievably solid. Even par in round 1, 1 over round 2, and she is 2 red on day 3, which is playing by far the toughest. So some really impressive golf she's played already.
That's a great shot by Jasmine to set up a potential birdie, her and her sister, putting together a strong week so far.
Yeah, sorry, Jeff. Definitely Long Beach is in the yellow.
And now this is Kung from Cal Poly. She's at 4 under, 2 over today.
I think this hole sets up a lot better for a lefty. That one just, I think it looked like she might have gone a little bit long with that pin cut on the right side and to the back. It works out really well being able to work a draw that starts at the middle of the green and moves to the right and kind of run back there to that pin. Given that a draw will likely be able to run out a little bit more than a fade. So this hole definitely sets up a little bit better for a left-handed golfer.
We had a hole-in-one there on 15 yesterday from Skylar May of UC Davis. Congrats to Skylar as we go back to 18. How about this? No gloves off the tee.
That is beyond impressive, Jeff. That is Savannah DeBach, who we have mentioned a lot today. She was on fire here yesterday, and it was right about now in the round where things started to go wrong. She made a 9 on this hole yesterday, extremely uncharacteristic, and now here she is still in the top 7 right now, in the top 10. Just really impressive, even with an error of that magnitude, to be able to still not be quite out of it.
Yeah, Savannah DeBach trying to get some revenge for this 18th hole.
That should be Rihanna Mission then, right?
And Rihanna Mission playing with Savannah DeBach. Rihanna Mission is your leader at 10 under as she plays the 18th hole at Chambers Bay. This is the Leadership and Golf Women's Invitational. Round 3, the final round, with Mission leading Catherine Park by 3 at the moment as she turns over to her second 9 of the day. USC now has a 4-shot advantage on the team side. They're at even par. Oregon State at 4 over. San Diego State at 5 over. Colorado and Grand Canyon at 7 over. Trying to fight on back. Colorado has dropped off the pace with a 10 over day so far to drop back to 7 over. USC at even par, still hanging on at 5 over today. Treachery is what we are seeing at Chambers Bay today. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you as we're bringing you the action. Brianna Mission, Savannah DeBach among those at the top coming through our 18th hole. Let's take a look back at 15 right now. We saw the tee shot of Nicole Kuhn yanked a bit, Emma, and now this is an extra challenging bunker look.
Jeff, I mean, I think that anywhere on the green inside of 12 to 15 feet is going to be a pretty good shot. She must have gotten a kick back off that right part. I mentioned that this sets up good for a lefty, but I think that might have just been a little bit too much of a power draw, as it looks like she just goes ahead and just gets that one just right there on the front edge, back edge, about 18 feet. I did not go long on this hole, Jeff, but I was short right one of the days, and anywhere in all of those waist area and bunkers that go all the wrap from the right to the back part of the green, it is just so difficult.
And we'll just pick a camera.
This is Amber Lee of Washington. Amber is at 4 over.
I'd say
that's good for
apron.
T26 position right now, an even par day so far. That is just fine right now. If you can find yourself at even par at this point in the round, based on the scores that we are seeing, you will take that.
I think, Jeff, that's why it's even so much more impressive to see some of these players like who we just saw come through 15, Jasmine Leoveo, who's at 2 under for the day. I mean, if you have got money in the bank heading to that front 9, it is definitely going to be very helpful.
Lee trying to clean this up. And back over to Kuhn.
Just trying to give a little walk off.
Now, the way that this flag sits is that it is almost like in a small bowl. Kuhn is actually higher than where the hole is sitting, so that means she's got a pretty quick putt downhill, which, wow, that almost found the cup. So it's downhill coming from the right, it's downhill coming from the left as well. I would say that's a pretty good damage control for there, Jeff.
Yeah, that was impressive from Kuhn from Sammamish, Washington. A little bit of a homecoming for her, 2-time Metro League Player of the Year. Nicole Kuhn now at Cal Poly as a freshman. As we take a look back at 17.
We got one really, really solid shot in there. This is the group of Sarah Torres, Carmen Lim, and Erin Lee. Like I mentioned, this putt just from pin high to the left is not as bad as that. Looks like a really, really good lag from Lim.
this a group featuring Long Beach State, Washington, and Cal Poly.
Sarah Torres will go ahead and mark her golf ball. She hit a beautiful shot in there. As now Erin Lee
And that's a job well done.
How about that putt?
So Erin Lee, who's 2 under already today. That's going to make her 3 under for the day after rounds of 3 over and 7 over to start. We go to the other Leoveo sister, Janae.
And she, oh my goodness. Wow. Wow. Oh,
Janae
my
throwing it in tight.
Thank you, sir.
What a
Imagine if my
shot.
first hole-in-one was on a fucking iPad.
That was almost the second ace of the week at 15.
That'd be...
Wow. Locked in when her team needs her in the final round.
Unbelievable shot from Janae Leoveo. Both her and her sister combined even par today. Hashtag golf twins.
Yeah, she's dropped back 2 over today to drop back to 3 under after 2 under par rounds to start. That is going to help out her score as we take a look at Vivian Liu. That's going to be just fine. Liu, a sophomore from New Zealand.
Couldn't tell exactly where that golf ball ended up. But the good news is, with that pin position being where it is, it definitely offers a little bit more, gives you a little bit more grace, unless you're Janae Leoveo and you can just put it an inch next to the cup.
And we're going to 9 right now to catch up with Catherine Park, Maria Einhagen-Harak, and Kira Lee. This is Park. And that is judging the contours.
It's just got to sit right there. This green is pitched so severely left to right, so if you can play it perfectly, it will scare the cup. But if you're too far left, it will give you a near impossible up and down, be able to stop it from rolling all the way into that bunker like Parks almost did, even though she played that slope perfectly.
Kira Lee, a junior from Portland, Oregon, trying to make a push for Oregon State. She's 1 under today, 1 under overall in T12 position for herself at the moment.
And that one just rolls all the way to the back right part. A little bit too much on that. That will be a really quick putt back down that hill, Jeff.
And now Maria Eidhagen-Harash, coming from Colorado by way of Sweden. to high school in Arizona after making the move from Scandinavia.
Looked like a beautiful golf swing. She was telling it to get a little bit more to the right, and that's exactly sort of what I was trying to mention there, Jeff, where if you're just too far left, you're either on the wrong part of the slope or you catch it too high up, which gives that golf ball too much momentum and will go all the way back down into that right bunker.
So that'll be a tester for Einhagen Harash. She's 4 back of Rihanna Mission at the top at the Leadership in Golf Invitational.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at FlightScope.
Bring your friends and family together to create timeless memories this summer with a new Club Car Onward. Wherever your adventures take you, cruise in safety, comfort, and ultimate style. Experience the Club Car difference with our exclusive summer savings event. Take $1,500 off any new Onward purchased now through July 31st. Offer available while supplies last at participating authorized Club Car dealer locations. Visit us at clubcar.com to find a dealer.
Imagine a world where every decision and task is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Today, AI isn't just an option, it's transforming businesses across all sectors. At Critical River, we empower businesses to harness AI's full potential, ensuring every process is optimized and revolutionized. Critical River's Digital Science Innovation Lab is emerging as a trusted partner for businesses aiming to enhance their digital capabilities through co-innovation. Partner with us to lead your industry and achieve unparalleled success.
Welcome back to Leadership in Golf Invitational. Taking a look at the 9th green. This is the final grouping. This is a shotgun start, but this is the group that started off of number 1. Rihanna Mission, she leads, but Catherine Park, Maria Eindhagen Harush, among those in pursuit. Kira Lee with this group as well. And the team leaderboard, these players are going to play a factor on the team leaderboard, especially Southern California holding the advantage right now at 1 over. Emma, no team is in red figures as a team right now. USC at the top at 1 over. Oregon State 4 over. San Diego State 5 over.
9 green is bad.
Jeff, I think
You have Colorado.
a lot of coaches out there, this is about the time where they start to panic a little bit. Next thing you know, they have 3 players who are making a bogey all at once. When the scores get high and the course gets difficult and there's 4 scores being added together, not just one, those strokes can add up so quickly. And if your team plays one hole poorly, it can be the difference of winning the golf tournament and coming in 4th.
Eindhagen Harush, she's been trying to keep it together so far, just 1 over at this point, while the Colorado group as a team has been slipping a bit. That is a tasty bunker shot for her.
Wow, unbelievably impressive. You could see the way she kind of threw her hands right at it at the golf ball to put a lot of spin on it.
Oregon State,
Landed
long
just
putt,
about probably
USC, short putt.
5 to 6 feet short and just checked up perfectly right by the cup. She's
Oregon
got to feel
State.
really good
What
about
hole
that
is
one.
on? Kira Lee gonna have a long putt here at the 9th.
And this one, Jeff, that top right part of the green is actually a lot higher than it looks here, as we can see on the screen. This is going to be real downhill, but I think that it will be relatively easy for her to judge. I think that she's going to nestle this one in fairly close. I actually had
Kira,
this exact same putt when the flag was here on the final day.
Jeff Eisman, Emma Carpenter with you. Emma Carpenter playing this event for the Minnesota Golden Gophers once upon a time. Kira Lee right now, Emma, there's a mindset that goes into this in college golf that we don't always get to see at the professional level. Kira Lee is in T11 position. She's probably not going to win the player portion of this, but Oregon State right now, second place on the team leaderboard, 3 shots behind USC. She's the top scorer from Oregon State so far. So there's a lot on the line still for Kira when it comes to lifting the Beavers.
That's what makes college golf so special, is that even if you don't play well in round 1 and your score doesn't count, they take the top 4 of 5, there is still so much to play for, even if you're well out of it individually. If you're counting for your team and your team needs you, or you're looking at a team win, you could shoot a 74, but if you finished a birdie to get your team back up into the top spot, then it's going to be the best feeling in the world.
That is a good effort there by Park.
Park birdied 2 of her first 3 today. Birdied holes 1 and 3, off to a real fiery start, which is really impressive given how difficult that front 9 is playing. 1 being fairly gettable for the players today, but with how high these scores are, I'd say that anytime these players have a birdie attempt like Park did just now, they're going to want to really take advantage of that, because for so many other holes, par is just going to be
who did you
a
say
great
was
score.
the marker in this group to look at? So, Catherine Park, who we just watched in All-Conference Pac-12 first-team member last year, as there's a tap-in grade up and down for Einhagen. Harush taking a look back at 15 now. Peter, do you remember who you said was in this
And
group?
this is what we've talked about a lot, Jeff, with the elevation out here. Makes the golf course a difficult walk, but it also makes the golf course difficult to judge in terms of uphill, downhill, wind, all of these things that play a factor in a hole like this, and at number 15 with that pin being back, as we saw earlier from Kuhn. You just do not want to be
Peter, can I
over
get
long
another
of the
ID
green.
here on 15?
So picking the right club
You just
and the
said
right
it,
number
but I
is
missed
really,
it
really important.
when I was calling 9. A look into the bay here.
This hole playing about 140 yards. It's going to be lots of 8 irons, lots of 7 irons, lots of 9 irons as well, especially with how downhill it is playing. This hole doesn't play quite as downhill as 9 like we've mentioned, but definitely about half a club for these players for sure. And then ball flight is going to make all the difference as well. A lot of these girls like to hit draws out on the golf course, but this is not a hole where you want to aim right of the green and work that golf ball in. I think that's why a lot of times we see that ball finish on the pin high left side. That's the bailout position regardless.
Going to see some players from Grand Canyon come through this stretch now. And Grand Canyon has made their run today. 2 under, both Grand Canyon and Long Beach State. Those are the 2 low scores as a team so far today.
Those are some really, really impressive scores today, Jeff. Especially with all of those real low scores we saw, especially in round 1 and round 2 as well. But when we look at those 5 unders, those 4 unders, with schools being under par today, it means that although there are no 5 under, 4 under scores, they have 4 players who are all right around par, which is very, very impressive.
And that's another
a
great
good
shot. Let's go over to 9, where now we're getting players that started actually on 18. This is the group of Sophie Spiva, Melissa Gallows, and Kenobi Mastubara. Got 2 players in this group from Seattle U trying to use the slopes. Pretty well done there.
Seattle, one of the teams who are actually have an individual playing here this week, which, like I've mentioned, is real great opportunities for those players who, even though they aren't playing for the team, they still get the chance to go ahead and compete for the university and for themselves, which makes for a real fun week.
Emma, did you have a local Minnesota event that you played during your time with the Gophers?
I did actually just last week. The Annika Intercollegiate, which they call the best event in all of college golf, is right here in Lake Elmo, Minnesota. Played in that for several years. As we know, I played 5 years of college golf, which is 1 more year than some other people. I had another year of eligibility because of COVID, but something about playing in a local event, there's just so much more excitement surrounding it. Maybe you have some more friends and family out there watching you. Maybe it just means a little bit more to you to be able to get a team win or an individual win at home.
Another look at the beauty of Chambers Bay. This on a sunny day. What we've got for you folks is just your stellar welcome to the Pacific Northwest, hello Washington State sort of conditions that we're looking at today, as we've got some rain jackets out, some extra layers, some fall gear for these players, getting their situation going in terms of this part of the season, Emma.
And Jeff, what's so funny about this time of year is that, ironically, with the college golf season being in both the fall and the spring, players playing as soon as the very end of January and in February, a lot of times the worst weather that you'll face is actually in the Septembers and in the April, May, as opposed to the end of the fall or the end of winter, beginning of spring, because all of those tournaments are always played way down south, where teams can compete. Any team can compete in February and in October. So a lot of times we see the beginning of the fall and the end of the spring are where the weather can get a little bit more dicey.
This is at 15 right now. We're getting some of these groups coming through on 15 from San Diego State, Gonzaga, and Grand Canyon. We just don't know who this is, Peter.
Three
Oh,
golf
looks
balls on the green is always a good start to the hole, especially at 15, Jeff. We've seen some trouble on this hole if you're on the wrong side of the green and perhaps give yourself a really tough lie in one of these bunkers. How about that? Oh my goodness. How does that ball not drop?
That is a tough break. I don't think that had to do with the flag stick being in, Emma. That was just a power lip, regardless, on the left side.
It's interesting with the rule change, Jeff, now being able to leave the pin in. Lots of players who, when they normally would have had it tended, they'll just go ahead and leave the pin in. But Jeff, I can't help but notice the way that some of these pins are rattling around. I couldn't help but think that that could definitely play a factor in whether or not the ball drops.
This is a closer look at birdie. Yeah, that's really well done. And Sophie Spiva at the 9th.
That's that same spot that we saw earlier. It's just quick and then moves down towards that bunker. Gravity in the way that that whole green is pitched. She'll have a little bit of work left, but pace was pretty good on that putt.
And now back over to 15. This is that group of Annika Sato, Vanessa Zhang, and Lena Tremul.
Can
Over
you
the
say
ball,
that again
over the
on
ball.
Unity, Jeff? I mean, sorry, not Jeff. Peter.
And that is a great effort.
Beautiful putt. I absolutely love the pace on that. The way it just trickled right there in the front edge. And she will get to walk off with a 2 on number 15. It's really, really impressive stroke.
It was a challenge for Annika Sato yesterday, right around here, but gets it done today.
I love it. Get some revenge on the hole that had your number the day before.
This is on 17, Emma. This is part of Chambers Bay, the trains.
And the train, the stories that go along with it as well, Jeff. I don't think it's too quiet for the girls up there on the 17th tee right now.
Just part of the conditions. And yeah, go ahead. Why wait?
I love it. Jeff, I tell you what, that is something that's really common in women's golf. You will not see a lot of these girls out here being bothered by much. Nothing can get in their way. Definitely a real common that you'll see in college golf. Not a lot of backing off. Players don't get distracted. They have tunnel vision, Jeff.
Especially for these Washington players, right? This is just part of the local conditions. This is what you're used to.
You block out the noise, you block out the weather, you block out the cold, you block out any negative emotion. Here's Leo Veo.
And there's a game within the game right now between these two sisters from Long Beach State. Janae is now at 5 under. Jasmine at 1 under.
Couldn't tell exactly where that golf ball ended up. She was looking right, which I hope to be is not true because right is really, really no good there on 17.
This is Jamie C. from Washington at the 9th. Jamie is a senior. She was actually Washington's low finisher last year at the Pac-12 Championships. Finished in T11 position. Playing in this group alongside Maria Fedowich from Seattle and Samantha Spielman from Wyoming. This will be Spielman now.
Spielman, who is a sophomore, she came in and made an immediate impact for Wyoming. A Wyoming native. She played in just about every single event for the team. She hits the golf ball really, really long, which is really impressive. She's just an athlete, comes from a family of athletes as well.
And third in this group, Federich.
And it looked like she was really pleased with where that golf ball finished, Jeff. That was, and definitely for good reason. Those are 3 good shots in there on the 9th.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Maria comes over from Ukraine. She is a senior, played her high school golf at Montverde. And now playing her 4th year for Seattle U. Back over to 17. And this hole has already caused some headaches, Emma, for players who are trying to navigate that stroke. The green might seem sprawling from the tee box, but you can tell based on the undulation, the actual landing area to get something within birdie range to this hole is limited.
Definitely, Jeff. And I would say that you have a little bit more room short and long, but if your dispersion is wide of the flag, it's definitely tough. I mentioned we saw Leoveo looking out to the right, which looks like where her golf ball ended up. By the looks of it, she does not love the lie she has down over there. While her playing partners are going to have a really lengthy putt from over there on the left. I think that there's a really good chance, Jeff, that this golf ball gets past the flag and runs all the way back down onto that lower tier. Or does the exact opposite and doesn't get quite far enough and comes right back down to her feet. That's what you gamble with there, Jeff. That shot has to be so perfectly executed to be able to nestle right up next to the flag.
Chambers Bay pushing back, fighting back against Leoveo. And now this is compounding an error.
And I think that that's one of the things that as competitive golfers, you have to really, really hit home over and over and over again is when you do make an error and you find yourself in the wrong spot. Sometimes trying to get a little bit too cute with it can put yourself in an even worse position than before. It's difficult to say what kind of lie she did have and what kind of swing she could even make on the golf ball from over there on the right, but say you short side yourself, above all else, you need to make sure that golf ball gets on the green. So definitely the error was not in the second or third shot. The error was just in the tee shot most of all.
We're taking another look over at 15. Quick update on the leaderboard. Catherine Park now at the top. That's going to be a good look at birdie from the short side below the hole. Catherine Park with a 3 under round in the works has the lead at 7 under. Rihanna Mission, she's got a 3 over round in the works, so she's dropped to second by herself at 6 under. Janae Leoval is tied for third at 5 under with Chewan Bake, Stephanie Barbiglia as well right there. And that rounds out the top 5, forever fluctuating. USC at 1 over, still with a 3-shot advantage on the team side over San Diego State. As we are into the back 9, the second 9 for these players with a shotgun start at Chambers Bay.
Get up.
I think, Jeff, what I love most about the leaderboard is that 8 players in the top 10 come from 8 different schools individually. How about that?
That is incredible stuff as this thing has moved around. Also, not just from the Pacific Northwest. We've got some players from all over. A team like Eastern Michigan, weren't sure what we were going to get from them. Savannah DeBach has played some outstanding golf. If it wasn't for a quad, she's 4 off the lead right now and took a quadruple bogey on the 18th hole yesterday. She's at 3 under. You look at a player like Kaylin Rossholt of Grand Canyon. This ain't desert golf we're looking at right now. This is the heart of the Pacific Northwest as we're looking at the 15th hole hitting into, or at least at, the Puget Sound.
If you mention her again, Jeff, her name is Callan. I've played with her a bunch. Callan Rossholt.
And that's just off to the right. She should be coming through here soon, so be aware. Let's go back over to the 9th and take a look at this attempt from Jamie C.
We've seen some really, really good golf shots into here. Have not seen a putt drop quite yet. This one is going to move a little bit towards the front of the green, so to her left from where she is. Just
Rude.
falls off a little bit too much.
Hate to see that. And now Maria.
This putt also is definitely going to move towards the bunker the way that it's pitched, and it does, but right to the back of the cup. That was a really, really solid putt. Just really confident, it seemed.
Par putt was made. One more.
And see the senior to finish on up.
And we're done on 9.
And those are some really, really good efforts
Looks
on
like
this
OU.
hole number 9. Some really solid golf we've seen come through. 8 is a real gettable par 5 for the girls, and then 9 they seem to be playing really well as they move to the back 9.
This group coming through the 9th, Lucia Morelli of Wyoming with Shayna Liu and Aisha Barron from Seattle. What was that, Peter? That is a powerful iron swing. This ninth hole, Emma, a really fun one if you can use the contours correctly.
I definitely agree, Jeff. It does make for a little bit more risk. Truth be told, there's no reason why these players can't go directly at the flag. It just brings in a little bit more trouble with the right bunker. They can absolutely choose to play that left slope, which it seems as though a lot of them are, but not as easy to control where the ball lands and finishes as if they were to just really throw a dart right at the flag.
Back over on 15, these bunkers have proved to be some of the most treacherous on the golf course. We saw a couple of players get stuck in them yesterday. Some more room to play with on the green today.
Getting over it right now.
That's going to be an issue.
Yeah, it's like I mentioned, Jeff. I found that spot over there in that short right area, and it is just near impossible. Anywhere on the green is pretty good. On the grass is definitely a lot better. You can see she was able to get that golf ball there up really high and land a lot softer. That was really, really nice there from Washington. If she had found herself in the sand or in that long grass, it would have been a lot harder to get that ball up high and land softly the way that she did.
We're about to get a great view of a bunker shot. Emma, there's some technique to talk us through here.
Definitely. And what's so interesting about bunker shots is that everyone does have a different philosophy. So there's a number of ways to play a bunker shot. A lot of people think you need speed. A lot of people think you need a really even tempo.
Me, Peter, I still don't know
See how
who
she
this
plays
is.
this here. More speed. She
I'm just
didn't
faking it
quite
as much
get
as I
that
can.
up as high as she needed to. It caught the collar downslope, ran about 12 feet by. I think that if she kind of just pushed her hands at the ground just a tinge more, it looked like a good execution. She probably just needed to land that a little bit farther so
That's
that
who we're
it
watching on the green?
didn't take the kick that it did.
Or on the tee. Nicole Cato, Esther Yu, and Brenna Prep in this group. We've been talking about it a little bit. The Antelopes of Grand Canyon making their push one under among the best scores for a team today. Putting them into perspective, Colorado, which entered the day in the thick of the team competition, is 15 over.
I know.
That's the second highest score in the field today. USC, who's the leader,
Are there any particular
not all that much better at 6 over as a team. So everyone trying to stay afloat at Chambers Bay today.
When you look at some of these scores from last year, Oregon State actually had their best round in the final round last year, 289. San Francisco as well had their lowest score in the final round. It's really fun to watch the discrepancies between rounds of these teams. My team was in really good shape, just about a shot or two off the lead going into the final round, and then unfortunately did not have a solid third round. We still finished in second place, and that's what goes to show the advantage of having some money in the bank. But if you want to stay competitive, you got to keep your foot on the gas in this third round.
You're looking right now at the group of Nicole Cato, Esther Yu, and Brianna Prape. And now let's turn it over to 9. Kyla Wild, Jess Haynes, and Sammy Yates have hit up. We saw Lucia Morelli, Shayna Liu, and Aisha Barron already come through this hole. And that's a pretty tasty shot from Wild. Jess Haynes, Sammy Yates also in this group.
Like a good swing as well. It's always good if you watch the players and you don't see a lean to the left or a lean to the right, depending on where they want that golf ball to go. They're just kind of eyeing it down dead on. It's usually a sign that it was a pretty darn good golf shot, as we have another train coming through near 16 and 17.
There's a peek over at 15 as Brenna Prape finished up. Squads in this Leadership in Golf Invitational. And USC, the one at the top, at 1 over right now.
That one, Jeff, it looked like the second she touched the golf ball, she knew that that was not going to finish well. It just kind of slid off the right part of her putter face. Just kind of pushed it off that slope to the right. It can definitely be hard to read that putt with a force coming from the right and a force coming from the left.
This is our first look today, Emma, at the 10th hole. Swallowed up into the valley of Chambers Bay. Shayna Liu, Aisha Barron, Lucia Morelli, excuse me, I believe that's going to be Samantha Spielman, actually, that we're taking a look at now for Wyoming on the tee. That was Maria Fedorich who hit the last shot.
This is a really, really good hole, Jeff, and I would honestly say it starts with being all about the tee shot. If you find one of those bunkers, especially over there on the left, on the right as well, but on the left, it makes for a really, really, really difficult second shot. To say you're on defense is honestly an understatement. I found myself in that bunker on the left, and then from there, the green sits in a bowl, and if you miss the green anywhere, you're in long grass.
We're looking back over at 15, and we're doing our best as the weather has really become a factor. Kylie Fee, Grace Lee, Ansi Dye coming through this 15th hole. That's the safe play.
I think it's on CD. Let me double check, but I think so.
San Diego State, Gonzaga, and Grand Canyon is where we're looking at this stretch right now. San Diego State has catapulted itself to second place on the leaderboard. Gonzaga at fourth place, both moving on up so far today. and Grand Canyon as well. All three of these schools playing some really solid golf.
Get up.
Getting better.
Saw that putt made earlier today from Sato.
You just have Seattle.
It's
U now.
definitely doable. Just that spot directly up the hill is by far the best look for birdie.
We're looking now at the green at 9. Shayna Liu and Aisha Barron both for Seattle U playing together today. Trying to finish up.
And that putt just works really hard towards the bunker.
T will not be hitting. for a
Aisha
while,
Barron
so we have,
from
like,
Indonesia, a freshman, getting her campaign on the collegiate scene started. The 2018 Indonesian Junior Golf Player of the Year. And playing alongside her teammate right now, Shayna Liu from Honolulu.
Yep, we still have 3 more putts. Looks like we have Wyoming. That might be. Is there like a?
And remember,
whatever
this
team's
was an
blue.
example of, you don't see this a ton on a par
Blue.
3, right, Emma? But everyone's seeming to hit up. Kyla Wild, Jess Haynes, Sammy
Hitting up on
Yates right
19.
behind this group.
Second group hitting down, I believe.
Trying to avoid a backup as much as possible.
There's confusion. Nope, they are putting first.
Obviously, there's a lot of fog playing in on this 9th hole right now.
Nope, putting.
Right, especially
No hit. No
right,
shots from
especially
19.
Jeff,
Putting first.
when there are all kinds of factors when there's
Looks like
when
we have maybe
you're talking about pace of play, a lot of times what
Canyon
actually comes into play
close putt
on
on the
these
left.
final days is these
Wyoming,
teams
short right.
have flights home.
Seattle U.
So there were lots of times where we had to really make it a point to finish this final round quickly, or could not stay for the award ceremony just based on when there was a flight home. So as soon as pace of play starts to fall behind. Now most teams will still budget for this, but there are certainly a number of reasons why it's important to finish the round.
Wyoming putting now.
This
That
is the
8th
putt
hole.
from Kyla Wild.
There was always a
Wild from-
backup on. So there was always a backup on this 9th hole just due to the lengthy walk. You had to take the long way because of how much it drops off this cliff. This is a good look for birdie here.
So close for Wild, the senior from Phoenix, Arizona. Let's go back to 15. It's about as well as you can judge the speed. Back to 9, Sammy Yates.
Got it close for birdie.
What
Sammy
a putt
Yates.
there. I would say she could not have played that any better. Just right out there on that right edge and falls into the front edge with perfect pace. Very, very well done.
Yates, a kinesiology major, if I'm getting all that as my tongue gets tied, Emma, from Bozeman, Montana. That is why I was not a major in kinesiology.
Kinesiology. You got it, Jeff.
Good thing I don't have to speak for a living. Back to 9. Jess Haynes. that is unfortunate for Jess Haynes, who's actually playing as an individual player for Grand Canyon, as great as they've played. She is 8 over for the tournament. That drops her back to 9 over, as that just comes up a little bit short.
Wow, it was really, really beautifully paced there. Gosh, I'm surprised to see that ball did not trickle in the front edge. The read was just perfect. Hey Peter, is there a way that we can get the cam to talk to only you? Because I'm hearing him in my ear. If that's who that is, or a spotter on 9.
We'll
That
wave
is
the
a
cap. Is that it?
great save. I would say the bucket hat is a good move today, Jeff. What do you think?
I think it's an outstanding move with all of the conditions. Sometimes you need it not to block the sun, but you don't know if you're going to get some precipitation. As we go to Megan Vaught, Maddie Smith, and Athena Nee at the 9th. That is Maddie Smith from Washington, goes by Mads from Nottingham, United Kingdom. And Megan Vaught from Wyoming. We watched her a little bit yesterday. Emma, the senior from Broomfield, Colorado.
I really, really love her golf swing. She puts it in such a good position right there at the top. Looks like was pleased with that shot there. That's one of my favorite things about watching women's golf is just the positions and the tempo is just perfect.
On 15, the freshman Emma Narita of San Diego State.
It's a pretty good shot there. Looked like it kept on feeding. That will be a little bit quicker. I wouldn't exactly call that one a green light putt, Jeff, but still very good position.
Aliza Vacasola from Grand Canyon trying to pick up some of the slack that maybe Grand Canyon as they've been making their push, trying to keep this pace up for them. She's 1 under today.
And you can see why that golf swing just looks very technically sound. Look at the way that she played that perfectly to land at the front edge and just sort of feed back towards the hole. And that right there is the green light birdie look.
That is beautiful into this hole. As we're seeing some of these top players really a factor in how things would go today. Jasmine Wong, the freshman from Honolulu, getting thrown into the fire right now. Gonzaga in 4th at 6 over. These are all critical right now. Actually, one back of Grand Canyon.
Grand Canyon is
Noted.
tied with Long Beach for making the biggest move of the day. They've both moved up 3 spots currently, both 2 under par.
Some birdie looks there. This is Maddie Smith in the bunker for Washington at the 9th.
We saw the shot earlier from Eidhagen Harouche, and this one played it a little differently, using that slope on the left side of the green to take it back, and I would call that a good play. Darn good play.
Last year, Smith was 3rd among players from the University of Washington at this same event.
Copy.
And her teammate Athena Nee is in
Washington
this
on the
group.
left, Wyoming on the right.
Athena, a freshman from China. Great opportunity for some of these
Leaders
players
are
from
probably on
Washington
11
and
or
Seattle, especially. The full roster is being rolled out here, Emma. Not all the scores count for the team competition, but a lot of players able to get some extra experience, especially underclassmen like this freshman and sophomore duo for Washington.
Am I good to zoom on this Washington putt?
We've seen this
Yes.
exact putt a few times today. I think that as long as she plays it far enough out on the right, she'll be able to pace this perfectly.
And Washington putting now.
Athena up the hill.
Unfortunately, it looks like she just gave that downhill a little bit too much credit. It certainly runs towards the front of the green, but still need to kind of give it just a little bit more
And we have Wyoming.
to get it all the way nestled down towards the cup. She will have a lot of work left. Jeff, when you talk about leaving a putt short versus hitting one by, the trade-off is that when you don't hit one by the hole, you don't actually get to see what the putt does. So because now she's short, she didn't get to watch her golf ball run past to get that look. So she'll likely have a similar read line-wise to her original one, but she didn't get the opportunity to actually learn anything.
So what you're telling me is hit those putts harder.
Yes, Jeff, you should always hit putts past the hole if they don't go in. That's my advice to you, Jeff. But not
I
too
just
far
signed
by.
up for this to get some free
Par
lessons
five.
from Emma
Par
Carpenter. Jeff Eisman, Emma Carpenter with you. If you're just joining us as you're watching Athena Lee putt for Washington at the 9th. This is the Leadership at Golf Women's Invitational at Chambers Bay.
And
Next
what a
putt.
save. A really, really impressive. Very, very good job to not let that first
Next
putt
putt.
rattle her. Tell you what, it's always easier said than done, right, Jeff? I've left my fair share of putts short as well.
Two great putts.
And how about that up and down? Wow.
And right now, if you're just joining us, Catherine Park of USC. She's your leader at 7 under, one clear of Rihanna Mission of San Francisco. On the team side, USC is back into red figures at 2 under. They lead Oregon State by 5. Some good looks here at 15.
A lot of players, Jeff, because of the way that the putts break from over there on that left side of the green, they end up all just in that kind of 4 to 5 foot circle, pin high right for a comebacker.
This is at the 9th. This is Proud Suwangam from Santa Clara.
Feels good to watch that ball just sit there right in that top fringe. Soon as it gets down in that bunker, like we've seen a lot of girls end up, just becomes much more difficult. But that pin high right spot, then now you're thinking two.
Ariana Morris and Ashley Tarkanian also in this group. Morris from Seattle U, Tarkanian from Fresno State.
I like the no rain jacket or pullover move here, Jeff. That's gutsy. That is gritty. I love it.
We'll see that in a second. Let's go back over to the green at 15.
Sneaks that in on the high side.
We have replay, right, Pierre? And that's poured in on 15. We were pretty close to a hole-in-one just a few moments ago. On the 9th, as we stepped away from that grouping of Ashley Tarkanian, Proud, and Ariana Morris from Seattle U. Right now, we're about to get some of the players coming through 15. Stephanie Barbiglia of San Diego State, Chaywan Bake of Gonzaga, and Kaylin Rossholt of Grand Canyon, Emma.
Barbiglia has just been playing phenomenally. 5 under in round 2 yesterday has got her to where she is, up in a tie for 3rd right now. She's even par in the day today. Callan Rosholt, the transfer from Arizona State, Texas native. I've played a lot of golf with Callan personally. She's a really great girl, really impressive player, back-to-back Southern Amateur champion. Really, really impressive addition to GCU's roster, especially coming in as a senior with all this experience. And she played in the national championships for Arizona State. She didn't like that one, but with it ending up just in that left part of the green, I know that's a big bailout. Callan definitely likes to hit a draw, which makes this pin position a little bit more difficult. She should be just fine over there, just a little bit more of a lengthy lag putt.
And you're telling me a little bit about Kaylin Rossholt, Emma, and you have a history playing against her.
I first played with Callan in the Porter Cup in Canada right near Niagara Falls, and that was back when she was in high school. She hadn't even yet gone to Arizona State, so to see her now as a senior playing at Chambers Bay for GCU is really, really cool.
Competition heating up right now as the conditions perhaps get even more treacherous. We've got a couple good looks coming for birdie at the 15th. These are the top players, the number one players from San Diego State, Gonzaga, and Grand Canyon coming through. As you're watching the Leadership in Golf Invitational at Chambers Bay. Remember, leaders and mentors are not born that way. They are cultivated. University Place, Washington, the setting for our drama. Catherine Park tied at 7 under at the top right now. USC clinging to a 5-shot advantage. Jeff Eisenband, Emma Carpenter with you. And Emma, we've been talking about it, right? You've worked so hard. You play 54 holes. Now we're coming down to the end of that leaderboard, both the player and team leaderboard, still very much fluctuating, very much in play. We're about to have some of the players from USC, Oregon State, and Colorado coming through. USC and Oregon State, they're right at the top right now. USC 2 under, Oregon State at 3 over.
Yeah, USC hanging on to that 5-shot lead is really just huge from that round 2, 7 under par. Now it's just a matter of if you can get a couple players on your team this afternoon who can take it deep, that's going to be the difference between winning the tournament.
Some of the players, including Catherine Park of USC, who right now is tied for the lead at 7 under, about to come through the final holes of the day here at the Leadership and Golf Invitational on GK Live.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at Flights.
Bring your friends and family together to create timeless memories this summer with a new Club Car Onward. Wherever your adventures take you, cruise in safety, comfort, and ultimate style. Experience the Club Car difference with our exclusive summer savings event. Take $1,500 off any new Onward purchased now through July 31st. Offer available while supplies last at participating authorized Club Car dealer locations. Visit us at clubcar.com to find a deal.
Imagine a world where every decision and task is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Today, AI isn't just an option, it's transforming businesses across all sectors. At Critical River, we empower businesses to harness AI's full potential, ensuring every process is optimized and revolutionized. Critical River's Digital Science Innovation Lab is emerging as a trusted partner for businesses aiming to enhance their digital capabilities through co-innovation. Partner with us to lead your industry and achieve unparalleled success.
Back at the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational from Chambers Bay. We are about to get to the big finish. Rihanna Mission of San Francisco, Catherine Park of USC. They are tied at the top at 7 under. currently leading this women's collegiate event. USC holds a 5-shot advantage at 2 under on the team side as this 54-hole event is coming down to the big finish. Jeff Eisenband, Emma Carpenter with you as we take a look at the 15th hole. This is the group of Barbiglia from San Diego State, Bake from Gonzaga, and Rossold of Grand Canyon.
That putt, a little bit of a double breaker. It was looking really good right there at the end before it lost pace.
Let's go back to 9. Sonia Howe, Sarah Ralamborisan, and Motoko Shimoji on this 9th hole now. As that's thrown off the back, that's using the contours.
We're just seeing lots of golf balls end up just kind of right in that flat area between 8 and 12 feet, just right of the flag. We have yet to see one drop from right there, but I presume we will shortly here, Jeff.
That effort just left out right. Back to 9. That's another good shot. Look at these golf balls. And over at 15.
Callan Rossold, that putt from way over there on the left is really quick down that slope. So she has this left for par. Should just move back towards the front of the green, and she gets that done. How about the fist pump she tosses in too? That is the Callan I remember.
Previously played at Arizona State and now a grad student at Grand Canyon. To 9.
Hole in one, hole in one, hole in one, hole in one, right next to the pin.
And that is in tight. Another beautiful shot on this 9th hole.
Wow. Unbelievable. And that's what I mentioned there, Jeff. See how she chose to not actually use the slope on the left and go ahead and just attack that flag, just pin hunt, throw a dart right there at the cup, landed just short and just trickled on up. She'll have tap in for birdie. Can never complain about that.
And on 15, finishing up. All of those schools very much in this thing right now. Grand Canyon, Gonzaga, and San Diego State. It's USC, though, 2 under, leading Oregon State by 5. They are about to come through our final holes, 15, 16, 17, and 18, as they're finishing up their day. Grand Canyon has made a move at 2 under as a team. That is the lowest team score today. They are in 3rd place by themselves at 5 over. Long Beach State and Gonzaga at 8 over. San Diego State at 10 over. And a rough day for Colorado at 12 over. 15 over as a team so far after being 3 under through the first 2 rounds.
Jeff, that's a 21-shot swing from the 6 under par they opened with in round 1 to where they're at in round 3. That's only halfway through the round as well. Just truly disastrous for the Buffs. They're going to want to bring it back. There's still not too many shots out of 4th place. It is absolutely not too late to turn it around. Southern California, they were 6 over par, got it back to 3 to get themselves back into red numbers. I think everybody's going to be chasing the Trojans, even though they were behind at the start of the tournament. I think that it is the story, especially with that commanding win they had last year. It was just going to be about who can keep up, and they bounced back in round 2 the way everyone expected.
Got it. Thanks, guys. You're looking at the 15th hole where Kylie Chung is the representative for USC, Francesca Sumcod for Colorado, and Rebecca Kim for Oregon State. So for Chung and Kim, this is a lot of staring each other down as they are on your left side right now. Sumcod will go first for Colorado. She's a sophomore from San Jose, California.
Definitely a solid shot there that we saw. Lots of players hanging on that left part of the green, trying to avoid messing with the right. There's a putt from pin high on the left of 9, where we've seen a lot of these putts just kind of push towards the back and miss on that low edge. Now back at 15.
That is cutting it close, but it is up. Let's go over to the 9th. This is Sonia Howe for Santa Clara. And that shot in tight, that near hole in 1, Emma, came from Fresno State's Motoko Shimoji. As we go back to the tee at 15. That's a fine shot. The birdie putt from Sonia Howe just missed from Santa Clara at the 9th.
Is that a haircut? Do you have any nicotine? Of course I do, bro.
3 birdie putts coming on the way from Chong, Sumcod, and Kim. Chambers Bay decided this leadership and golf women's invitational. Leaders and mentors are not born that way. They are cultivated. Appreciate the host out here. Appreciate the host teams, the local teams, Seattle, Washington. With some extra players in the field, but it's USC with the 6-shot advantage right now. They've added one more, 4 under, 6 clear of Oregon State. On the player side, USC's Catherine Park battling with San Francisco's Rihanna Mission. They're on opposite sides of the card right now. As USC, Catherine Park started at 1. She's on the backside. Mission's on the front side. Park has made her move 3 under today. Mission 2 over. So that has been a battle for the player title, and still USC they have not locked it up, Emma. 7 under yesterday in the second round was when USC made their move. They're the only team in red figures but Oregon State 6 back as we get to some of these unique holes, 15, 16, 17, and 18 for these two programs.
That's right, Jeff. Definitely a lot can happen. I love how you mentioned Leadership in Golf. They host multiple events. They have a mission. Their mission is to connect students and student athletes and business leaders and to learn from each other, build bonds, develop tomorrow's leaders that drive changes. They actually spoke to us last year after following the College Am. I believe they had a presentation as well this year, so definitely means a lot what they are doing for the game for these young girls.
Back to 9. This is where we're going to see Audrey Brust, Gian Padillo, and Vanessa Vu. Players in the 3 spot for Santa Clara, Seattle U, and Fresno State. Another good shot into this 9th hole. Emma, players are attacking this whole location.
They absolutely are, Jeff. We've seen this hole played a number of ways. Do they use that slope on the left? Do they just kind of run it up there from the front edge? And we've also seen 2 for 2 from up and downs from the right in the bunker. So I definitely think that, Jeff, with where this pin position is, the way that you can work it off the left slope as well as on 15, those are 2 fairly scoreable par 3s for how difficult this golf course plays.
A little bit of a cutty swing there. That was Audrey Brust from Santa Clara. And this is Vanessa Vu of Fresno State. The sophomore from Fresno, California.
She gave a little wave at the Jeff. That's definitely a good sign.
To the crowd?
Wave to the crowd. Always wave to the crowd. Give them a wave. Yep, there it is again. Give the people what they want. Something that's really neat about college golf is that you can see the camaraderie amongst the team as well. You'll see a lot of these players waving back to their teammates in the fairway. That's something that actually is a discussion amongst the team as well. No matter how you're playing, the last thing that you ever want to do is show any kind of negative body language to your teammate who's back on the tee or back in the fairway. It definitely, that stuff can carry over and it can set a precedent, set a vibe for the way that things are going, and it can cause just some compounding errors that goes from group to group to group.
That's a very good effort there. Kylie Chung, Rebecca Kim, Francesca Sumcod in this grouping. It's going to be Sumcod next. Putting for birdie. She was a top player in Northern California as a high schooler, now a sophomore for Colorado. Seen that a couple times today. That putt just fall off the table on the right side for players that don't keep up the speed. And how about that mark there for
Jeff,
Fresno State's Vanessa Vu right after Motoko Shimoji.
Jeff, would you wave to the crowd if you hit a shot that close?
I would, 100%, and especially not even sure if Vanessa Vu realizes that Motoko Shimoji in the last group hit about the same shot.
Gosh, it just goes to show these players, their golf swings are so technically sound.
What hole am I looking at here?
Just unbelievable. It's outstanding, really, the command that they have of their wedges on a hole like number 9. It was a very easy tap in after a beautiful lag.
And back on the tee, they wave up this group on 15. That's Clara Alavag, Cindy Coe, and Carolyn Fuller. It's going to be Alavag on the tee for Oregon State. We've seen a lot of international players in the competition. Alavag from Gothenburg, Sweden, a freshman. So that's a little bit of a culture change for Alavag, going from Sweden to Corvallis. As we get another look at the players in this group, Coe and Fuller.
It's a very solid shot in there. Really, I like how she got aggressive. She took it near right at the flag, but had enough pace. We've seen some of those golf balls that are just a touch to the right come up a little short, and then that will just run right off where you can see there's that area of fairway short of the green, sort of in line with the flag with where these girls are hitting from, and the ball will run right down into that area, and they'll have either a tight lie in that fairway or they'll find some of these waste bunkers.
That was Coe with the shot from USC. Now this is Clara Alavag from Oregon State.
That was bunker. I don't know if you guys could see it.
A big spot for a freshman like Clara to try to help mount this comeback for the Beavers. In terms of Colorado, it's been a challenge today. Carolyn Fuller now on the tee. Fuller 5 over today, dropping back to 8 over. That's aiming at the middle of the green.
You could tell by her move at the golf ball which way it was curving. Definitely looked like it was going to finish over there on the left. Distance was perfect, but like we've seen a lot of players run that putt by from up there on the left part of the green. She's going to have to be real careful with that one.
Yeah, that is going to be a speedy putt. They're on 15. That's the 4th group for USC, Oregon State, and Colorado. They're going to get eventually up to 18.
It's like I said, Jeff, this green on 18, it almost looks like a clover from where we're looking at it right now. There is just so much undulation. it's almost like a completely different hole depending on where that flag is. Right now, it's in that front left spot. I was just short on that front fringe on the left side. Luckily, hit a good chip, but it's very, very difficult. It's almost like being low, being over to the left is better because you have a chip right up the hill. But if you're over there right, if you're long, if you're short right, it's near impossible.
Back to the tee at 9. We're seeing some short sleeves pop on back out.
And I can't help but wonder, Jeff, how that is going to affect the way that the back 9 and front 9 play respectively. We saw some really high scores on the front 9 this morning when it was real misty. And then now that it's starting to warm up a little bit, maybe the course will dry out. I wonder if the front 9 will be playing easier than it was this morning.
This is Caitlin Lehigh from Fresno State. And a look at the 15th green. And that
Oh my
almost
goodness.
stuck out of the bunker. Olivog pulled that tee shot, but wow, what a recovery.
Jeff, that is remarkable. That spot over there, I tell you, I definitely did not make par when I came up short on that hole. It is really, really difficult. What an impressive shot that was.
On 9, Kelsey Kim of Santa Clara. Toward the train there at 9. This is the train driving by on 17. Quick pause for some of these players. And now Fuller played this shot safe. Colorado looking
Can't
for a
see
spark.
the logo. Oh, Buffalo or Buffs, Colorado.
Carolyn Fuller
Go
of
Buffs.
Colorado. A sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. Twice named to the All-Arizona Girls Golf Team by azcentral.com. And just missing on the low side there. Her best round in competition was a 66 at the JGAA Scottsdale City Junior at TPC Scottsdale, the stadium course. Ever heard of it? Probably.
Ever seen it on TV?
Might not have been as loud when Fuller played it.
That is a lot of fun. It's like Chambers Bay and the iconic sense when you play on a golf course that you know has hosted so many fabulous events, so many great names have played there and competed there. It makes it that much fun, that much more fun to post a low round.
And this is the look from Ko.
No harm done there. The spot anywhere over short and even a little bit right. You don't want to mess with right, but if you are still on the putting surface, it makes for a much easier birdie putt.
Back to Fuller, trying to save the par. Carolyn Fuller, 5 over today. That's dropped her back to 8 over.
We'll watch this putt move back towards the front of the green. She'll need to play it just barely outside.
Played the safe shot, Emma, we talked about off the tee, but the 2 putts are just not given here.
And we've seen that a lot today, Jeff. Anywhere, as we know, up there on the left side is real speedy coming back down that slope. This is a flag you can get a little bit more aggressive to. There is a little bit of room on it on all sides, but if you play too safe, it can make for a more difficult lag.
Clara Alavog trying to save an exceptional par.
Unbelievable.
Yes, Gonzaga.
That doesn't just warrant a fist pump, Emma, but we've addressed it. That is big for the team competition. Oregon State is currently in second in the team competition, 6 back of USC as these teams come down the stretch. So that is a massive up and down for Clara Alavog of Oregon State. And this is frustration on 17.
It can be really, really hard. If you ever miss a short putt, your heart starts racing, you really lose focus, emotions are running high, and it's important, no matter what, to always stick to your routine that you would typically do. Just because you have a short putt does not mean that you can go ahead and tap it in. You don't want to take longer than normal, but especially if you already feel your heart racing, emotions are running high, that's the time to slow it down a little bit and take a deep breath.
Next group through 15 is going to be Jasmine Koo of USC, Sydney Givens of Colorado, and Raya Nakau of Oregon State. And that's safe. We've addressed the treachery of this green, so that's not a gimme 2 putt. But that's a good effort. This is 17.
The group of Rosholt, Bake, and Barbeglia when finishing on the lower tier on the left, but like we've seen, definitely much better than missing to the right.
On 15, Sydney Givens, the freshman from Austin, Texas for Colorado. And that is just going to catch enough of the short grass to hold on the green. Back to 17, Emma.
This is Bake of Gonzaga. Rounding out the groupings of GCU, Gonzaga, and SDSU.
Center of the green, but the wrong side of the slope for Bake, the senior from Langley, British Columbia.
Wow, and that landed just right there on that seam. Just about a foot right, Jeff, and it probably would have been perfect.
Chambers Bay, the host of this Leadership and Golf Invitational. It's also, of course, been the host of the U.S. Amateur in 2010. Peter Uihlein, the winner then, 2015. The U.S. Open, Jordan Spieth the winner. 2021, the U.S. Amateur 4-ball. And in 2022, the U.S. Women's Amateur won by Saki Baba. Right here as this course continues to grow its reach within the game of global golf. Opened in 2007 and has made its mark with so many big competitions and will crown another champion this afternoon. It's 12:20 local time in University Park, Washington, right alongside the Puget Sound. Who will it be? Rihanna Mission, Catherine Park. They are tied at 7 under at the top. Mission from San Francisco 2 over today. Catherine Park 3 under, trying to make her run. Both started at 5 under. Catherine Park's USC Trojans have now opened a 7-shot advantage on Oregon State. 4 under are the Trojans. Oregon State at 3 over. Grand Canyon is at 6 over with a 1 under day. They're the only team in red figures today in this third round. San Diego State and Long Beach State tied at 9 over for T4 position. That rounds out the top 5 in the team competition right now as everyone is on their second 9 today. Everyone is in that range of holes 46 to 54 of their week. We're with you on the 15th hole. This is the group of Jasmine Koo, Sydney Givens, and Raya Nakao. Looks like it's going to be Givens for next to putt.
Ball down.
Sydney Givens, a freshman for the Buffs, in a big position in the third spot. Let's go over to 17.
There's Callan Rossolt from the way long left. Same spot where we saw her hit it to on 15. She made that great 2-putt. We'll see her attempt for the up and down save shortly, but back here at 15.
Just not enough juice in that putt.
Still a fairly good leave. That will be dead straight for her right back up that hill. We've seen a lot of girls just missing right over on that pin high right spot.
Let's go back to 17. Barbiglia.
Way short.
Seen that a handful of times today. Over to 15. Yeah,
Oh.
there's a birdie.
It's exactly like we've seen, Jeff. That spot right there, just short, straight up the hill, is the most gettable birdie putt. That is green light. Any putt from over there on the left, while it's definitely the safer play off the tee, does not make for an easy 1 or even 2 putt. But what a great putt that we saw just now.
And this is Givens. Hit with some conviction. To 17. Shaewon Bake, who's very much in this right now, tied for third at 5 under.
Now, Jeff, she's hitting her third putt from right here. Didn't get the first one quite all the way up the hill. Or her third shot, excuse me, second putt. Didn't get the first putt all the way up the hill, which
short on
is a real bummer considering how she just landed right there on that seam. Almost had a beautiful shot into the green, but then rolled down. This one, again, didn't get quite all the way up. She'll have a little bit of work left.
Stephanie Barbiglia from San Diego State in this group, also at 5 under. So is Janae Leoval.
For par.
They're all tied for third. Catherine Park, Brianna Mission, 2 shots clear of those players. They're at 7 under, tied for the lead. Ross Holt.
Now on 17.
In synchronization.
I tell you what, Jeff,
Knees.
I don't know who it means more to, player or coach, because it is real close.
Over to 15. And that just clears the fringe for this group that we're going to take a look at now of Bailey Shoemaker from USC, Ellen O'Shaughnessy of Colorado, and Kelly Hope of Oregon State
I believe
at
it's a San Diego
15.
State for birdie.
It's going to be Barbiglia, and you see Bake and Barbiglia both back and forth. They're tied right now, the 2 players, at 5 under. San Diego State 2 clear of Gonzaga on the leaderboard right now, 11 over and 16 over respectively.
This entire group, with how well these 3 are playing. Ross, Holt, Bake, and Barbiglia struggling on this hole. And what a save.
Her lean gets that ball to fall. Barbiglia, the sophomore from Johannesburg, South Africa, still perhaps in the mix for the player title. As we take a look over at 15. And that's Oregon State's Kelly Hope.
What team? Just saw a shot in here that, look at that, went to about 4 feet.
For par when it's time.
Some really good looks for birdie. And here's Bake Gonzaga now for her birdie, for her par, excuse me.
Trying to keep pace with Barbiglia.
Par putt made.
And
Those are
wow.
2 clutch putts, Emma.
Very clutch. It looks like they almost shared that moment walking off the green, Jeff. Like, hey, those were 2 pretty good putts. We feel good about that. Way to go.
They both started on 4, so 4 more holes left for them. 2 off the pace. That's being set by Rihanna Mission and Catherine Park. Thanks for being with us here on GK Live. The team competition has USC with a 7-shot advantage over Oregon State. That's what it's coming down to on the team side. USC and Oregon State at 4 under and 3 over respectively, and they have players paired together today coming down the stretch. We're bringing you 15, 16, 17, and 18. We've also given you some of 9 and 10, but those teams, USC and Oregon State, they're about to be coming through 15, 16, 17, and 18 all players as we actually go out to 17, and that's where Francesca Sumcod is for the University of Colorado. Colorado University. Don't want to mess that up, Emma, right? No one says
There is-
Minnesota University.
That's right. All schools do it differently. They're the CU Buffaloes.
It's aggressive from some COD. And it works out.
While. Wow.
Emma, we've talked about it all afternoon on 17. Do you take it at the top tier? Francesca Sumcod does, and that is the reward that she has with one of the best looks at birdie that we have seen today.
That was a remarkable shot from Sumcod, like we've said. I mean, we have not seen a whole lot of players who have actually even found themselves up there on that top tier. Lots over there on the left and a couple misses out to the right. Like you said, Jeff, the landing area is actually much smaller than it may seem, left and right. And she just took that ball right at the flag.
This is Bailey Shoemaker for USC.
Shoemaker, one of two players returning for the Trojans. They won last year by about 30 strokes. And now here the Trojans find themselves winning by 7. But they have really brought it back on this back 9, Jeff. They were 6 over at one point. They got it back to 1 over. So that is 5 cumulative birdies that they've made as a team.
On 17, that is a one-handed finish. And uh-oh. That is going to be another short game challenge.
Up and over a slope of the fairway and then running up the slope on the green. That will definitely pose a challenge.
Birdie putt on the way for Ellen O'Shaughnessy of Colorado. Looks like it's actually going to be Kelly Hope from Oregon State perhaps first. Been a rough day for Hope, 5 over. Started the week with a 3 under first round. This would be a great bonus late in the round.
Hope was not here last year. She is a sophomore from South Africa. Disappointed to have that putt come up short, not really give it more of a chance.
And O'Shaughnessy. 3 over on the day as well. The freshman from Dublin, Ireland.
Birdie on 15.
And that is a spectacular birdie for O'Shaughnessy, getting her first couple tastes of collegiate competition.
I can't tell.
Over on this side of the Atlantic Ocean. That's a great late birdie on a tough hole.
I love her demeanor as well, Jeff. You can just tell the way she very calmly walked that putt in. It's a big part of competition. You can't get too high, you can't get too low. And I just was very, very impressed by her overall demeanor through that whole routine.
Yep.
And that's finished on out. So O'Shaughnessy with the birdie. Shoemaker and Hope trading pars. Right now their teams are pitted against each other down the stretch. USC 4 under. 7 shots clear of Oregon State, coming off a 7 under day yesterday in the second round for the Trojans. They lead, and USC's Catherine Park trying to hold on to the individual competition. Rihanna Mission of San Francisco is tied with her at 7 under as we finally get the group that started off of 1. Catherine Park, Maria Einhagen, Harush, and and Kira Lee.
Park is just having a spectacular day. Look at how confidently she's swinging the golf club. She has made one of the biggest moves individually of the tournament. She's moved up 6 places. That one coming up a pretty good ways short, but it will be a very straightforward lag putt for her.
And Eidhagen Harush, she got off to an outstanding start to the week with a 5 under first round, same as Mission and Park. 2 under in the second round, but 3 over today. She's been going the wrong way. Still just T6 position at 4 under. And we have an update on the leaderboard. Rihanna Mission now at 9 under through 16. 9 under. She's pulled 2 shots ahead of Catherine Park.
Unbelievable front 9 that Rihanna Mission is having. Sarush hits this shot on 15. Jeff, how about 4 birdies on the front 9 that we saw USC really struggling with? The Trojans came out 6 over through 8 through 11 holes respectively amongst their 4 counting scores, but Rihanna Mission, who played holes 14 through 18 at 4 over par, then bounced back with 4 under par on the front 9 with just 2 holes left to play, including number 8, which is a very gettable hole.
Kira Lai, third to play in this group, the junior from Portland. She's 2 under for the tournament. T11.
Get up. That was short. Short.
And that is going to be short. That is going to be in the Emma Carpenter zone. Uh-oh.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Well, I'm sure they'll handle it a lot better than Emma Carpenter did. She will handle it much better than Emma Carpenter did.
Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you as we take a look over at 17.
Par.
Going to get a putt here from Rebecca Kim, trying to save a par. Kim playing with Francesca Sumcod, who had a great tee shot in here. Kylie Chong of USC. For Kim and Chong, so much on the line from a team competition standpoint, and this is a par putt for Kim. The sophomore from South Surrey, British Columbia. Pretty good line, pretty good effort, just not enough speed. And that's going to continue to open the door up for USC. If you're just joining us, this is the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational at Chambers Bay. Coming down the stretch, USC now 6 under. They're 9 clear of Oregon State at 3 over in second place. But Rihanna Mission of San Francisco has taken a 2-shot advantage over USC's Catherine Park in the team competition. This is Francesca Sumcod of Colorado.
Definitely a shame to not be able to get that one done after that tee shot, Jeff. It was a really, really beautiful tee shot that she hit in there. Could never be upset with a tap-in par on this 17th hole. But that putt was not going to be doing a whole lot. It was relatively straight, which, as we know, the dreaded straight putt, it's never easy.
That seemed like a wobbly stroke as the train was on its way.
Blame
Kylie
the
Chong
train.
now.
Blame the train.
Kylie Chong trying to save par. She's 6 over today.
And then both putts remaining are for bogey.
I mean, that one looked like she missed it the exact same way as Sumkad. Had the opportunity to get the read, but she knew right away. It looked like it just wasn't the best stroke. Her playing partner will go ahead and finish while she reads that putt.
I cannot tell if green and white what position they're in.
So it's going to be matching bogeys if Chang can finish this off. But Oregon State doesn't have time to match this late in the tournament. As that shot, using the contours from the front. What a shot by Kira Lai.
That was sick out.
Wow.
That is seeing the vision.
Beautifully played. Just really, really great strategy. Jeff, a young Emma Carpenter should have played that the same way. Really well done.
Let's go to Cindy Coe on the tee for USC at 17. Hates it.
Right. Or left.
We can hear that, Peter. We can hear that. Back over to 15. Eidhagen Harush.
Really good putt there.
Not able to push that thing all the way down. Excuse me, that was actually Catherine Park. Eidhagen Harush still to play. Let's go back to 17. Clara Alamog. I don't know who that is who's talking to you,
Really,
giving you
really
the instructions,
picked
but
up.
we can hear. Emma and I can hear those.
Skirt and Olivog.
I don't know if that's Troy or someone else, but we can hear that. So
Blowing straight into them on this 17th hole. Jeff, that makes it so much more difficult when the landing area is so tight left and right. This is because when the wind is really, really blowing strongly, it actually will increase the spin of your golf ball, whether left to right or right to left. So if the wind is blowing into you, you got to be really good control of the spin on your golf ball in order to keep that ball as straight as a string, like we saw Sumkad do on the group before.
yeah, speaking of spin, this is going to be a left-handed shot for Fuller. Can play a draw into this whole location. See her trying to turn the hands over, Emma. But not quite enough.
Still, with where that ball finished, I do think that the line is relatively straightforward. She'll still have a good chance at being able to nestle that one.
Let's go back over to Lai. And that is a spectacular up and down for par. Kira Lai with the vision to throw that bunker shot behind the whole location.
Honestly, Jeff, that one has me speechless. I can't even believe how special that was. We've seen a couple sensational up and downs at 15 today.
That's a par for Catherine Park. You'll see her score updated in just a moment as Rihanna Mission has stretched her lead to 2 shots. She has 2 holes to go. Park is going to update her score after 15. And that's tapped in by Einhagen Harush. So the players off of 1, they are now past the 15th hole. 16, 17, and 18 to go for those players. We go to 17.
Yeah, the leader is about to tee off on 16.
That's a long way to go.
Wait, no, that's
for
Catherine
Cindy
Park.
Coe.
I mean, so Rihanna Mission is about to tee off on like 8 or 7. But Catherine Park, who's in second place, is about to tee off on 16.
Olivog in the back for Oregon State, the Swede.
Yes, this is Oregon State from off the green. Yes, Oregon State from off the green.
Trying to figure out how to play this shot, Emma.
I can see she has a putter out, which I'm not sure is... I think it just depends on what you see. It's definitely hard for us to tell here because there are different pros and cons to choosing a putter or a wedge. At least with a wedge, you can take out the first 10 yards of this shot and you don't actually need to have the golf ball roll through it. As you can see, it's going to take it really, really hard to the right. I would say that is very, very well done, especially for using a putter and having to bang that thing all the way up there like she did. If she would have taken wedge, she could have landed it further and then had it run up the slope, but that Texas wedge was impressive.
Clara Olivog, the true freshman from Oregon State. She was asked earlier this year by the athletic department if you could have dinner with 3 athletes, who would they be? She picked Nelly Korda, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, and Serena Williams, who she said was her idol growing up. That is a group of 3 for sure with Clara. We're going to go over to 16, Catherine Park on the tee.
Park is one of the best players in college golf and has been for a number of years. She's broken records for USC. She's broken the record for the most rounds at par or better, and she's broken the scoring average record. She did that all as a sophomore when she was also the Annika Award finalist, which goes to the best player in college golf. So
And we have an update, Emma. Sorry to interrupt. We have an update right now on Park's score. She's at 8 under, 1 better than we talked about a minute ago, so 1 back of Rihanna Mission. Sorry to cut you off there, Emma.
Oh, no problem. No problem. There's so much to say for this young player coming out as a junior, just already firing. Park made a birdie on the 13th hole that got her to 8. Then we saw her make par there on 15 and tee it off on 16. Now we're back here at 17. And again back at 16.
That's Kira Lai, who is trying to fight her way into the top 10. She's in sole 11th right now at 1 under, 2 back of a top 10 finish with 3 holes to go. That's the flagstick on 17.
This is for par.
Jeff, if she has any precision with this putt, the same way she did with probably that 50 to 60 footer down there over on that back left part of the green, I'd say this one is going to end up at the bottom of the cup.
Dude, I've seen so many lip outs today.
And just not meant to be for Olivog.
Wow. Oh, That is so shocking that that putt didn't go in. You could tell it hit that lip, rolled all the way around the back part, and that was with dying pace as well. Whenever you see a ball lip
We have
at
2 more
dying
putts, I think.
pace,
Nope, 2
it's
more
just
putts,
a
17.
heartbreaker. Hitting a putt at dying pace actually does make the hole bigger and should be able to let that golf ball sneak in on the high or low side, as opposed to more of a firm pace can only really drop if you hit it more at the center.
Does he have my thing turned on? I'm Ox or AU, whatever.
And one more putt here from Co. Peter, I don't know if we can make it happen, but I think Emma mentioned this. Rihanna Mission, who is
Made.
they're potentially Rihanna Mission.
That was
She's going to be finishing on 8. I don't know if it's possible to turn that camera on 9 around, but she could be. Yeah, she's going to be finishing on 8 right around now.
Next.
This is Fuller.
There is not going to be a way for us to get there.
And very
that's
good
it.
2-putt there.
Yeah, that's going to go a long way for Fuller and perhaps Colorado. I'm in talkback, Emma. That was probably on me. Sorry about that. That opens up the tee box on this 17th hole for Ryan Nakau of Oregon State. No worries, just thought I'd throw it out as potential. Oregon State still in this thing from the team side. Dropping back, though, 11 shots back of USC in sole second. USC 7 under. They have pulled to the front with some great work on this back 9 side of the card. Oregon State second at 4 over. Colorado, you're looking at Sydney Givens of Colorado. Colorado 16 over today, 13 over overall, tied for 5th with San Diego State.
And that one
Just had tee shot.
just barely, probably was a couple inches left of the Oregon State's golf ball. It's crazy to see that golf ball just stay right there on that seam. I want her to run up and mark it.
And Jasmine Koo of USC, part of this group trying to put their foot down and take home the title for USC. That's aggressive.
That definitely started a little bit further to the right and stay right there. Okay, that will be just fine, Jeff, but I tell you what, just 6 inches right, and that would have been a really near impossible 3.
The tee shot from Carolyn Fuller at 18. Emma, what are you trying to do with this tee shot? That was a low driver from Fuller on this par 5, trying to perhaps carry the bunkers as far possible down that right side.
Definitely, and Jeff, up there, these waist bunkers go up way too far on the right side to be carryable with a driver, but you can see those bunkers that come in on the left just really come into play and make things really tight. So that bunker that you'll see that's right behind the cap of her hat right now is exactly the bunker that they're trying to lay up to. It makes the fairway just that much more wide.
We're coming down to the end here at the Leadership in Golf Invitational. Keep it with us on GK Live.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at Flights.
Bring your friends and family together to create timeless memories this summer with a new Club Car Onward. Wherever your adventures take you, cruise in safety, comfort, and ultimate style. Experience the Club Car difference with our exclusive summer savings event. Take $1,500 off any new Onward purchased now through July 31st. Offer available while supplies last at participating authorized Club Car dealer locations. Visit us at clubcar.com to find a dealer.
Imagine a world where every decision and task is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Today, AI isn't just an option, it's transforming businesses across all sectors. At Critical River, we empower businesses to harness AI's full potential, ensuring every process is optimized and revolutionized. Critical River's Digital Science Innovation Lab is emerging as a trusted partner for businesses aiming to enhance their digital capabilities through co-innovation. Partner with us to lead your industry and achieve unparalleled success.
Back at the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational, looking at the 17th hole. As some of the final groups are coming through these final holes.
Colorado for birdie. Colorado
We're looking
for
at the
birdie.
group of Jasmine Koo, Sydney Givens, and Raya Nakao.
Next, you're going to have USC for birdie off the green.
And just not quite enough in that putt from Givens. Representing Colorado. If you're just joining us, Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you. USC holding the team advantage. That's Jasmine Koo of the Trojans. 11 shots clear of Oregon State coming down the stretch.
Koo, real fortunate
Next,
to
you're gonna
just
have
sit
Oregon
there
State
right
for
on that fringe. I knew it would make for a real straightforward putt, and she did that, and that's what makes her so good. This will be a stress-free par, likely. So we've mentioned it's really important to get on that top tier on the right part of the screen.
And for Oregon State, Raya Nakao.
Over the ball.
She's a sophomore from Hawaii.
Ryan Nakao was one of the 3 players on her team who did play here last year. Nakao just hovered right around par, couple over in each round.
It's kind of stacked up on 17, the people
In the Leadership in Golf Invitational 2023.
waiting.
Now here she is, her team just
Colorado for par.
not too far behind the Trojans in 2024.
Givens finishing up.
Bogey from
This is the season opener for the Colorado
Oregon
Buffaloes.
State for par.
So for Sydney Givens, a freshman, it is a true welcome to college golf experience. You get to play Chambers Bay right away, Emma.
Not too bad. Not too bad. Coming in, playing collegiate golf, getting to play the world-renowned Chambers Bay. I remember how excited I was to be able to be here last year. It's definitely special, to say the least. Here's Nikau.
Missed. Par putt.
Nikau 2 under on the day. That one just hills off.
A lot of edges, a lot of lips.
A lot of players have been reading those putts from below the hole to be relatively straight, which they are, but they're just tailing out to their right.
Came out of that pretty quickly.
SC for par.
Everything is breaking Jeff towards the water, towards the train tracks, just a little bit more than it seems once you get up on that top tier.
Par made. Nope, you're good.
And Jasmine Koo taps that in. Maybe the game within the game. Koo and Cindy Ko, they're tied at 2 over for T18 position, tied for third lowest Trojan of the week, as that group will head to 18. Some of our final groupings that started on the first hole from USC, Oregon State, and Colorado are coming through our holes 15, 16, 17, and 18 right now. Rihanna Mission is finishing up 7 and 8. She's 1 shot clear of Catherine Park right now for the individual title. Mission of San Francisco trying to finish the deal as we go to the group of players in the 2 spot. Bailey Shoemaker is in this spot for USC.
Both Bailey Shoemaker and Catherine Park being the 2 returners for the Trojans. We were paired with the Trojans in the final round last year. Saw some really good golf. That one just on the left side of that seam, Jeff.
Got it.
Shoemaker at 3 under, tied for 7th, trying to break through and maybe climb into a T5 position. Bailey's playing with Ellen O'Shaughnessy of Colorado and Kelly Hope of Oregon State.
You can see that wind has really picked up a good amount. It's working hard, and it is working right to left for these players on this 17th tee. She's telling it to go left with her head, I believe. Couldn't tell exactly where it ended up, but that did finish in the bunker on the right, so that will make for a really difficult up and down.
O'Shaughnessy making her collegiate debut as well. Another freshman from this class on Colorado, coming from Ireland. She's at even par right now, 1 over today. And then this is Kelly Hope.
Got it.
Hope is at 5 over today. And that's not going to help.
Yep.
It can
We were
be
waiting
hard,
for some of
Jeff,
the-
when the wind is blowing so hard and the hole is
Fucking
playing
do the walking.
downhill. There's so many different factors that go into what number you're going to go ahead with off the tee.
Little back up there on the tee as Kelly gets a push from her teammates, a sophomore from Pretoria, South Africa.
And Jeff, what I love so much about this individual leaderboard right now is that 9 players in the top 10
Out of the bag.
are from 9 different schools. How is that for a spread of talent across Division I golf?
That's amazing, as that's a look at the 17th hole right along the Puget Sound. There are train tracks. tracks along the coast. There's the bunker that Kelly Hope is going to have to deal with. Right now, Catherine Park, she's essentially waiting on an update from Rihanna Mission, who's on the other side of the card. It looks like Rihanna Mission is going to finish before Catherine Park, who has 2 more holes left. Park's on the left of your screen, playing with Kira Lai and Maria Eindhagen Harush as they come down the finish here. So all of a sudden, you've got USC trying to lock up the team leaderboard, but on the players' side, Catherine Park, she should know what she has to do in just a moment.
Both Catherine Park and Rihanna Mission do have a par 5 in their final 2 holes.
I will wait.
Rihanna Mission with it being on hole number 8, very gettable par 5 for these players, and Park finishing on 18. Mission will finish on 9 first. So then from there, Park will have the choice of what to do on 18. That'll be really exciting to see.
In talkback, if you want to correct yourself, Emma, she's going to finish on 8 Mission. She started on 9.
Thank you. Excuse me, Jeff. Actually, they will both be finishing on a par 5. Mission began on 8, so that means both players finishing on a par 5 for a birdie opportunity. It's really interesting in shotgun starts. I've heard from different college golfers who had finished the round ahead as the leader in the clubhouse and saw that perhaps whoever was in striking distance was on a more difficult part of the golf course. So that always makes it completely different as opposed to where you start and where you finish, where the wind was going on which holes at which parts of the day. And this is the view that Catherine Park has on the tee right now, Jeff.
But yeah,
Everything seems slanted almost. You're looking at a straight camera, but this is the undulation that comes with Chambers Bay. Kelly Hope giving this a long look, trying to work the short game.
Yep.
This is the last effort from Oregon State.
Yeah, that was a really, really hard shot that Hope had. From the angle that she had,
We're gonna have
she would have had to
taking
run it up through the fringe, which wouldn't have worked, and then it looked like she tried to take it up high to land it all the way up on that tier, didn't get it
Yep.
quite all the way there,
Point there.
and it runs all the way back down to the
Generally
bottom
for
tier,
something, not sure what.
which, as we've seen, is no gimme 2-putt as well. So we'll see what she does there.
Long wait for this crew. They've got 2 more holes to go.
Yep.
It looks
She's
like
a relief
O'Shaughnessy is
driver.
getting some kind of relief
Ball
over there,
once,
Jeff.
And she's now looking at her shot.
Hopefully not an unplayable.
There is a sort of randomness that comes with playing Chambers Bay. The best way to avoid the randomness is to hit the flatter green parts.
Somewhat lengthy.
O'Shaughnessy coming over from Ireland to Boulder, Colorado.
Okay, she's getting ready to hit the chip. Over a little bit.
A freshman making her collegiate debut.
Ready for her to chip it in the hole. I'm gonna get a little Tiger Nike swoosh sitting on the hole, you know. Yep. Hit it way too hard.
That might have come out a little bit hot for Ellen, who last year won the girls' 2023 Ireland U18 Order of Merit as the country's U18 Golfer of the Year.
She's a really, really solid player. Tough to say what kind of drop she was taking over there, but it definitely came off hot and high. Sometimes if you're in that tall grass, which she might have been, you can get almost a little bit of a flyer lie. That's why it's so difficult to judge the way that the golf ball is going to come out. It could come out hot, it could come out dead, but either way, there won't be much spin.
Missed it low and short.
That was the par effort from Hope. Excuse me. That was the effort from Shoemaker.
Shoemaker with the only birdie putt on this hole.
Such a unique part of college golf, right, Emma? You're not out there necessarily with caddies, but you can be out there at points with a coach, with coaching staff or your teammates or whatever it may be.
That's right, Jeff. And the rule was actually changed not too long ago. I believe it was only about 6 or 7 years ago. College coaches were never allowed to actually step foot on the putting surface. But that's completely changed, and now they can practically act as caddies and go on the greens, help read putts. They are just not allowed to touch any equipment. Thanks.
Good speed, but Hope will have to settle for at least a bogey, assuming she can
yes,
tap
unless
that on in.
Colorado took a unplayable lie, which I'm not sure.
And a big putt in the grand scheme of things for Shoemaker for her own good. First, it's going to be O'Shaughnessy.
Actually, Oregon State will be putting for bogey next.
Now O'Shaughnessy,
will be for
it's good
bogey
that ball
because she
settled
chipped
right
on.
where it did. You can see just past her right foot, it actually drops off pretty hard over to the back of the green. So this is still a fairly good look for par, given where she was over on the right side. This will work back towards the water. Just worked a little bit too far.
We're seeing some frustration from these players. It has been a slog here at Chambers Bay. This third round, much more difficult than the first two rounds that these players played yesterday. The conditions, a big part of that.
I think, Jeff, that
Really
is what is so impressive about what USC has done in their last 9 holes. They were 6 over. Now they got it back to 2 under. That is 8 under par just in this back 9, as Shoemaker
par,
has been
SC.
a huge part of it. Here she is for par. Sorry, Jeff, I just finished that because I was already rambling.
Shoemaker does complete the par, so she's going to stay at 3 under.
Can we confirm? do we
Really
have leaders
solid
on-
consistency this week. 1 over in the first round, 2 under in the second round, 2 under so far in her final round. Shoemaker, O'Shaughnessy, Hope, this second to last group. They're going to finish on 18 as well as the last group. These last 2 groups went off of 1 to start.
Do you want me to pan Oregon State walking off after this?
And that is a bogey for Hope. Pays the price off the tee. And she will drop a shot. One more. Oh, I should say there will be another group coming through 17. There were 2 groups that started on 18, but this is that final group that started on 1. Catherine Park trying to climb to the top. Not even looking at this, just fine, Emma. Not playing herself out of the competition, not giving herself the look that she needs at the moment.
Yeah, that's no gimme par from there, Jeff. It'll be interesting to see. the 17th hole has definitely been playing really difficult with the way that the wind is moving and where that pin position is. Park with a bogey-free round today is just remarkable.
For Colorado, Maria Eindhagen Harush. The senior from Sweden.
Eindhagen Harush, the senior. This is only her second year playing for the Buffs. Actually transferred from a junior college. Came in and made a pretty immediate impact. And that one is no good over in that right bunker. That is the kiss of death, I would say, Jeff, but we saw a really impressive bunker shot from her earlier today. Similar miss over to the right on hole number 9 that she was able to get up and down. So she's obviously very nifty in those bunkers.
And last tee shot in this group is going to be off the club face of Kira Lai. Don't make me laugh. She just needs a flannel shirt.
No, I could do better.
That's just fine. So many players finding themselves on the wrong side of that divide. It is sweater weather. It is beanie weather at Chambers Bay. Late in the round, 1:17 p.m. local time.
Perfect.
Now, Jeff, we have
University Park,
seen
Washington.
we have seen everything out there, from sweaters, beanies, full rain suits to short sleeve shirts. What do you think you would be out there in today?
Oh, I get cold easily, so I would be out there. I would have some sort of spandex, long sleeve with my team shirt, and then whatever the heaviest form of gear that I've been given, that's what I'd be wearing out there. And I would have no shame putting the beanie on as well.
No, I was going to say no shame putting the beanie on.
Not at all. I know you're from Minnesota, Emma. I play golf in the fall, late into the fall in the Northeast. That's my favorite time. The courses are more empty. People aren't booking times. That's when you get out there. And for these players, what an opportunity to play this masterpiece. We're looking at Chambers Bay, University Place, Washington, right alongside the Puget Sound. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you. Emma has played here in this competition before. Emma, as a collegiate golfer, getting the opportunity to play such iconic venues, how do you keep yourself just focused while also enjoying the moment and enjoying the fact that you are able to play some of these places that people would do everything for just to set foot and be able to hit the same tee shots as you on these courses?
That's such a good way to put it, Jeff. I tell you what, those years in college, being a competitor, all of these girls are so competitive. They want to play their best. They want to win. It's only really when you're out of it that you start to really think like, wow, I got that opportunity to go out and play that golf course, and who cares what I shot? But at the same time, how much more special is it to be able to say that you won at Chambers Bay? And that is what we're looking at coming down the stretch for some of these girls.
Eindhagen Harush. That's pretty well done out of the bunker.
Is she nifty in the bunkers, or is she nifty in the bunkers, Jeff? My goodness.
That could be an impressive up and down for Colorado, who is now in sole possession of 5th in the team standings at 12 over. USC has dropped a couple shots, but still holding an advantage, actually a 10-shot advantage at 5 under. However, Grand Canyon, what a day for Grand Canyon. They have jumped into second place on the team leaderboard at 5 over, 2 under today. The only team in red figures today. Oregon State has dropped back to 3rd by themselves at 6 over, and Long Beach State with an even par day is at 8 over. This is Catherine Park, 1 back of Rihanna Mission on the player leaderboard.
That's about 5 feet short.
Pretty good job there. Good pacing. Just fell off a good ways to the right, and she will have some work left to keep the bogey-free streak alive. She has not made a bogey today.
Park is 7th in the World Amateur Golf Rankings right now. Trying to back that up with a win.
For birdie.
Her teammate Jasmine Koo is actually technically 6th. This is Lai.
Nope, not gonna make it.
Now
Yeah,
just
a
a
little bit
mixture of those two putts would have been absolutely perfect, Jeff. That line was much better. Pace was just a tinge off. And it will be very interesting to see. We have all 3 of these players in the final grouping with some testers for par.
For those wondering, Rihanna Mission, the current leader, 195th in the World Amateur Golf Rankings. Park, this is a massive par putt.
That's gonna be a bogey.
And she is going to be kicking herself, making bogey at 17. Still waiting on the scores to come in from Mission on the front side.
With that one, Park does fall 2 back, which means that she will likely need birdie on 18 if she wants to pull out this individual win.
This is going to be another critical par putt for Lai. That's clutch. She's trying to get into the top 10. Lai at 11th place at 1 under. Going to give herself a chance for a top 10 finish.
That was really well done, Jeff. I could tell that golf ball was going in before it was even a couple feet out. Just the confidence of her stroke and the way that she kept her head so still. She did not peek one bit on that putt.
And that is another wonderful up and down for Maria Einhagen Harush, who keeps herself in the mix for perhaps a top 5 finish. She's at 4 under. Bit of a rough day at 3 over today, but that is going to help keep her in this story, as that group, the last group off of 1, will now go to 18, play the par 5 to finish up. Rihanna Mission one clear of Catherine Park, is finishing up on the 8th hole right now, 7 and 8. She still has 2 more holes to be recorded. Catherine Park inputting 3 more holes, including the bogey that we just saw at 17 into her scorecard. We've got some players starting to finish up right now. We're getting our final scores. USC trying to finish up the victory. They're at 5 under, 10 clear of Grand Canyon at this iconic venue, Chambers Bay. Emma, let's touch on USC for a second, because you told us they were the team to watch after what you saw them do here at Chambers Bay a year ago.
That's right, Jeff. And they are the team to watch. I believe they were the team to watch, even though they were, I believe,
Peter,
in 4th place after round 1.
Okay.
Just with some absolutely unbelievable players on this roster backing up their commanding win from last year. They were 100% the team to beat. Grand Canyon, I can't even believe, Jeff, how impressive this performance the Grand Canyon is putting on. And I'd say most of all in this final round 3, being 2 under par, and that is even with the top 4 players, and the 5th player is only 2 over par. They're counting a 1 over par, and their 5th player is 2 over par. So that means that even their next best score would only drop them 1 more shot, and they would still have the lowest round of the day, even after starting out 3 over and 4 over in rounds 1 and 2 respectively.
Let's talk about Catherine Park for a moment. Emma, we just watched her make a bogey on 17. She's got 1 more hole to go. It's the par 5 18th as we go to the tee box out there. She doesn't know what Rihanna Mission is doing on the front side. It's Einhagen Harush to go first. But now you've got to think about the mindset for Catherine Park. You've got to bounce back from that. You don't necessarily know what's going on. That's part of the uniqueness of women's collegiate golf and college golf in general, that you don't know what's going on and you've got to play within yourself. What would you say if you were Catherine Park's coach in this moment?
Well, I think it definitely depends on how Rihanna Mission finished. Oftentimes when you ask these players, when you're coming down the final hole, do you want to know if you need to make birdie? Do you want to know what score will get you a win? And some players might have different answers, but definitely the majority of these players oftentimes do say that they would. And if Rihanna Mission has in fact finished and Park needs birdie to pull out the win on this final hole, I think as the coach, I would want to let her know.
Did that other girl already hit? Oh. Yeah, no, Catherine Park hit. That's the shot that we heard. That's what threw me out. That was Catherine with USC. She already hit.
So this will be a stellar finish to watch as we are going to be walking with this final group. Catherine Park trying to get it done, trying to track down Rihanna Mission, but San Francisco's Rihanna Mission trying to hold on. Let us remind you out there, for those watching in the GK Live sphere, that we're going to have some great competitions coming up within the collegiate, within the junior realm, the professional golf world. GK Live is your home for some of the best competition out there in the golf sphere. This is a golf cast coming at you. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter bringing you third round action, final round action of the Leadership in Golf Invitational from Chambers Bay. We were with you for the end of the second round yesterday as well. We've had the opportunity to cover a lot of the end of this competition, about the last 10 to 12 holes worth for this competition. We're waiting on some of the final holes. And Emma, let's talk for a second here about the course itself, Chambers Bay. 2 very different Chambers Bays that we saw from yesterday to today. Yesterday, sunny skies, short sleeves. Today, more of that Seattle area weather that we expect in the Pacific Northwest.
That's definitely right, Jeff. And these players, they're used to playing in all different kinds of conditions. They're used to playing in all different areas of the country or even the world. And some might have grown up in areas that where they are used to playing in rain, they're used to playing in wind. That's what happens when you get all these girls together from all over the world. It's what makes it really, really fun and different each and every day.
And we'll have the end for you in just a moment here on GK Live.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at Flights.
Bring your friends and family together to create timeless memories this summer with a new Club Car Onward. Wherever your adventures take you, cruise in safety, comfort, and ultimate style. Experience the Club Car difference with our exclusive summer savings event. Take
Peter, I was just asking,
$1,500 off
do you
any
know
new
like
Onward
what
purchased
other
now through July
competitions we can
31st.
plug,
Offer
or was that
available
good
while
what I just
supplies
said,
last
where I
at
was like
participating
college,
authorized
pro,
Club Car
junior
dealer locations. Visit
stuff?
us at clubcar.com to find a dealer.
Imagine a world where every decision and task is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Today,
have golf.
AI isn't just an option, it's transforming businesses across all sectors. At Critical River, we empower businesses to harness AI's full potential, ensuring every process is optimized and revolutionized. Critical River's Digital Science Innovation Lab is emerging as a trusted partner for businesses aiming to enhance their digital capabilities through co-innovation. Partner with us to lead your industry and achieve unparalleled success.
We're back with you live at the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational at Chambers Bay. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you as we are bringing you the end of this competition. USC trying to lock up the victory. They have an 8-shot advantage over Grand Canyon. Grand Canyon just about finished up. USC about to input their scores. They're trying to lock up another title. Oregon State, as you're looking at Kira Lai, Oregon State, she's on 18. They're at 9 over, one back of Long Beach State for third place.
It's okay. And go to Troy.
Jeff, definitely surprised to see her in this bunker. This is not a bunker that a lot of players find unless you're getting real aggressive with the tee shot and trying to shimmy it up right between that bunker and the huge waist area that we are seeing over on the right. This is oftentimes a bunker that players will lay up to and then hit another layup as well.
Go.
But you do see some players getting aggressive.
Another bunker shot here from Einhagen
Stayed.
Harouche.
Right there. I can get that reverse view.
And it looks
And
like
she-
she
Troy.
kept that
USC.
one in the bunker. Jeff, surprising to see with how flat her lie was. She's used to hitting those high soft ones from around the green and not as much the waist area fairway bunkers perhaps.
How about this, Emma? Catherine Park waiting, seeing her playing partners in the bunker. She has a fairway wood out at the moment, playing the par 5. Rihanna Mission is on the other side. Catherine Park perhaps 2 shots back of Rihanna Mission, perhaps thinking that eagle is her only hope.
You can come to me now.
Jeff, you really do not see this very often. You can see where Park is in the white, like I mentioned, shimmying that driver over between the right bunker and the left. To be able to hit driver all the way up there is so impressive. It just has to be on a string, straight as an arrow. And now she has a tight shot ahead of her as well. And here's Harouche.
again. Not out, as that looks like she's looking down, hoping that would perhaps come back to her feet. But Catherine Park, full go. Left. And we're hearing that's not as bad as perhaps Catherine made it look. Just left, hole high.
Yep, on me.
The golf swing looked really solid. You could see the way that it launched was just perfectly in the launch angle and the direction. I was surprised when I saw her pointing to the left, but perhaps that's just because the target was indeed so small that it finished left, but not too
try and run
far.
up for the green, but I'll wait.
Eidhagen Harouche gets that ball out of the bunker.
Catherine Park, last year the Pac-12 tournament champion, actually set a Pac-12 tournament record at 15 under, USC's first Pac-12 individual title since 2003, and trying to add another title for herself here at the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational at Chambers Bay. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you as we continue the theatrics, the drama continuing to build. Catherine Park, it's a you don't necessarily know what's going on with Brianna Mission on the other side of the card. Emma, how did you feel about her pulling fairway wood and trying to get to this par 5 and 2 on 18?
Jeff, I absolutely love the play, getting aggressive on this final hole. It is between both Park and Mission down here. Everybody else is too far out to really compete with those two. Park finished in a tie for second at this tournament last year. She tied with her teammate Brianna Navarrosa, who I was actually paired with in the final round of this tournament last year. So now to see her, she does not want to take second again. She wants to get this win. She wants to get it done now as a junior, but it's definitely hard with Mission still on the other side of the golf course, not knowing where she's at.
Park finished through 15 holes. She was 4. She's gone back a stroke to 3 under, but still the best score of the day in this third round, trying to track down Brianna Mission. This is Kira Lai, who we saw get out of the bunker, now playing her third. Put a good swing on that. Did she have enough club head speed to get it there? Looks like it's just a touch short from Lai.
Good.
That pin high left spot that I mentioned earlier, Jeff, was really probably the best place that you could leave it given the undulations of this green. It just gives yourself a chip that's straight up the hill, very straightforward.
And it took a couple cracks for Eidhagen Harouche to get to this point.
It is a real bummer for Eidhagen Harouche to be struggling on this final hole, given how well she has been playing this entire event, this being her final hole of the tournament. And it looks like she recovered beautifully. How about this shot?
That is going to be a highlight to finish off her round, despite it taking perhaps 3 shots to get out of the fairway bunker. That is a beautiful 5th shot for Eidhagen Harouche to perhaps salvage what she can. Remember, yesterday, Savannah DeBach, who's at 3 under right now with 2 holes to go, 6 off the lead, but took a 9, a quadruple bogey on this 18th hole yesterday. So that's where she played herself essentially out of the competition. Catherine Park trying to keep herself in the competition. She lies 2 right beside the green. Rihanna Mission finishing up on the other side of the card from San Francisco. Can she pull out a massive win over one of the top collegiate and amateur players on the planet in Catherine Park? Catherine Park's USC just about locking up the team title, 8 clear of Grand Canyon as the final scores are being reported. USC, the only team in red figures at 4 under, Grand Canyon at 4 over, Long Beach State 8 over, Oregon State 9 over, and Colorado in sole possession of 5th right now at 14 over. That's where the ball ended up from Catherine Park.
Not the best, not the worst spot. She's gonna have that big mound on the right to deal with that she will likely have to play it off of. It's tough to see exactly from this angle how much that does really come into play, or if she can go ahead and just pitch it straight up towards that hill. She's currently 2 back from Mission. That was with Mission having 2 holes to play. Park just this 1. So if Mission were to par out her last 2 holes, that would mean that this chip would need to go in to tie for the lead.
I got it on the close. I got it.
Trying to play that slope that we just saw from Einhagen Harouche, but not high enough for Catherine Park, who's still got that left for birdie, and that is going to be a fast putt.
I got her.
Of course, Mission is on the other side of the card. We're bringing you the action from 18. Thanks for being here on GK Live for the end of the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter bringing you the action. This was the final group off the first hole today. Catherine Park, Maria Einhagen Harouche. Park from USC, Einhagen Harouche from Colorado, and Kira Lai from Oregon State. These 3 teams started at the top, but USC is the team that broke through. Only team in red figures at 4 under. Grand Canyon is the only team at red figures today at 3 under. They've moved into 2nd place.
Kira Lai having a really solid day for Oregon State. As a team struggling at 10 over par, which dropped them out of 3rd to 4th. But Lai 1 under on the day to keep her team towards the top of the leaderboard.
Just gonna keep it at wide angle. It's definitely coming back.
Wow.
So close. Couple of good efforts down the stretch from Lai, who's trying to fight her way into the top 10. Came into these last 3 holes at 11th.
She just did.
That was an unbelievable putt, which would have been a phenomenal birdie after her tee shot finding that bunker. And this is a really big putt here.
Okay, I got close side angle if you want it. That's a birdie, I believe.
That is with
Wow.
conviction for Catherine Park to keep herself in the fight. A birdie, a laugh, a smile. The light celebration, Emma. She doesn't know what's going on right now on the other side of the card.
What a finish, Jeff. And that is what makes Catherine Park one of the best players in college golf and one of the best players in the world. She knew what she needed to do, and she got it done on the 18th hole at the iconic Chambers Bay. That
would have been a great bogey save for Einhagen Harouche. who put in a great fight this week, started the week at 5 under, matching the pace that was set by Park and Mission. But unfortunately for her, backing up as the week progressed. And that's hugs all around in what was a grind of a day, Emma, when you think about how long this round took. Just about 5 hours and 45 minutes. That is a Chambers Bay beast of a round for these players. Almost 6 hours. So Park finishing up and now waiting to see what happens with Rihanna Mission on the other side. Players will update. Janae Leovau, 5 under, sole possession of 3rd right now. Vivian Liu, Maria Einhagen Harush obviously will add in her score and perhaps go backwards. Chaewon Bake at 4 under. Bailey Shoemaker, USC's 2nd player, at 3 under with Savannah DeBach and Stephanie Barbiglia. That rounds out the top 10 at the moment. We're still waiting for the final scores. And Emma, I can now report to you that Rihanna Mission is in at 8 under. So we're waiting for the final tally from Catherine Park based on what she had on the 16th hole. We saw the bogey on 17, the birdie on 18, but that birdie might have been so crucial for her. As for on the other side, Rihanna Mission made a bogey at the par 4 7th, a par on 8. But let's talk about Rihanna Mission for a second. We've talked a lot about Catherine Park. On the back 9, she started on the 9th hole. On the backside, played 14 through 18 at 5 over and is still perhaps able to be right near the champion, if not the champion.
And I think that's what's so special about both of these players is that they both knew they were in contention, and coming in on their last 9 holes or even their last hole or so, especially in Park's case, they put their foot on the gas and they got done what they needed to get done. If these two players do end up tying, they will share the lead as co-medalists. There won't be an on-course playoff in college golf. They will share the lead, or share the win, I should say. So congratulations to both of these players if that is indeed what happened. But wow, what a fun finish of golf that we got to see here today, Jeff.
And we are getting the final result for those watching here, the Leadership and Golf Women's Invitational. It is a tie for first. Rihanna Mission and Catherine Park. Rihanna Mission of San Francisco, Catherine Park of USC. They will share those honors at number 1. And Catherine Park, Emma, how about that putt for birdie at the last? The way she played the final hole, attacking, going for it in 2, it does pay for her.
I truly can't even put into words how remarkable that final hole was from tee to green. Like I mentioned, taking driver, getting really aggressive. That landing area is so small. She pulled it off perfectly. She pulled out a fairway wood, put herself in a position to have a fairly straightforward leave, to have a chip that she could go at right up that hill, and then followed it up by draining the putt that she knew may just get her the win. I truly can't even express how unbelievable that was to watch.
And we are now getting word that there might be a playoff. There might be a playoff. So keep it here on GK Live. We're getting some final updates right now from Chambers Bay. Jeff Osman and Emma Carpenter with you. Keep it on GK Live.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at Flights.
Bring your friends and family together to create timeless memories this summer with a new Club Car Onward. Wherever your adventures take you, cruise in safety, comfort, and ultimate style. Experience the Club Car difference with our exclusive summer savings event. Take $1,500 off any new Onward purchased now through July 31st. Offer available while supplies last at participating authorized Club Car dealer locations. Visit us at clubcar.com to find a deal.
Imagine a world where every decision and task is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Today, AI isn't just an option, it's transforming businesses across all sectors. At Critical River, we empower businesses to harness AI's full potential, ensuring every process is optimized and revolutionized. Critical River's Digital Science Innovation Lab is emerging as a trusted partner for businesses aiming to enhance their digital capabilities through co-innovation. Partner with us to lead your industry and achieve unparalleled success.
FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at flightscope.com. FlightScope Mevo Plus is the ultimate indoor and outdoor golf launch monitor and simulator. It gives you the club and ball data you need with the accuracy you demand. Mevo Plus comes with ownership of simulated golf courses for you to play and practice at home. Mevo Plus is an essential golf partner to help you improve and understand your game better. Put more purpose in your practice. To learn more and get your Mevo Plus, shop now at Flights.
Bring your friends and family together to create timeless memories this summer with a new Club Car Onward. Wherever your adventures take you, cruise in safety, comfort, and ultimate style. Experience the Club Car difference with our exclusive summer savings event. Take $1,500 off any new Onward purchased now through July 31st. Offer available while supplies last at participating authorized Club Car dealer locations. Visit us at clubcar.com to find a deal.
Imagine a world where every decision and task is enhanced by artificial intelligence. Today, AI isn't just an option, it's transforming businesses across all sectors. At Critical River, we empower businesses to harness AI's full potential, ensuring every process is optimized and revolutionized. Critical River's Digital Science Innovation Lab is emerging as a trusted partner for businesses aiming to enhance their digital capabilities through co-innovation. Partner with us to lead your industry and achieve unparalleled success.
We are catching our breath right now. Jeff Eisenman, Emma Carpenter with you on GK Live. It was a tie at the end. Rihanna Mission, Catherine Park. There was some talk of a playoff, but ultimately the San Francisco and USC players will share medalist honors in what was a duel, Emma, down the stretch, a seesaw duel at points in this final round.
Just so impressive, Jeff. Rihanna Mission, the senior for San Francisco, has been a standout player for them over the years. Catherine Park being one of the best players in all of college golf, came in a tie for second last year at this event, and then now gets it done with an electric birdie on the 18th. That was really incredible to watch.
Went for the green in two, just off the green, but gets up and down for the birdie. On the team side, it's unofficial. right now, but it appears Catherine Park's USC squad will take the title once again. Emma, you predicted it before we started things. However, there were some competitors, especially the first 2 days, that stayed right with USC, and the Trojans just put their foot down and took hold of this thing today in round 3.
Definitely. Clearly, the Trojans really secured this win with the second round, 7 under par. Just unbelievable second round. And then rounds 1 and 3 being right around par. So even if they didn't play right as well, they really didn't give it away. Some other teams who had some low rounds as well had some high ones. To add those all together, Grand Canyon to finishing in second place, moving up 4 spots in the team leaderboard with a 3 under par cumulative team score today. I can't even tell you how unbelievable this is. And the +2 that we saw Callan Rosholt come through, the transfer from Arizona State, her +2 doesn't even count. She comes 9th individually, and they didn't even need her score in the final round, which either way would have been under par. That's unbelievable.
The team leaderboard, as things stand, unofficially done. USC in first, Grand Canyon, Long Beach State, Oregon State, and San Diego State will round out the top 5. As a reminder, if you've enjoyed what you've watched here on GK Live, we're going to have all sorts of competitions coming at you. We've had ongoing competitions at the collegiate level, at the junior level, at the pro level, the men's and women's side. There is more golf coming your way. Jeff Eisman, Emma Carpenter, it has been a pleasure bringing you the action from Chambers Bay at the Leadership in Golf Women's Invitational. Remember, leaders and mentors are not born that way. They are cultivated. We'll see you next time.